Good evening, America. Welcome back to another episode of Break the Machine podcast. Hope you guys all had a blessed weekend. I am the Big Red One Guy, your host tonight. We have the one and only Blondie hanging with us tonight. So we're gonna reintroduce her. She last time she was on with Adam Vina, and you know, we're gonna bring her on shortly. So again, I hope you all had a great weekend, spend time with family. I know I did. So, let's get going here shortly. I'm going to bring in Reddaywalker and Blondie in, and we'll get going. We'll cover some current events, get into some of the cancel culture because, as you guys know, she's constantly getting banned and whatnot. And I'm sure we'll go wherever our conversation goes, like it ordinarily does. So, without further ado, let's bring in Reddaywalker and one and only Blondie. What's up, Blondie? How you doing? Reintroduce
Guys.
I'm
yourself.
back. the
Hey guys, how are you?
What's going on?
the energy,
Hi everybody.
you
Yeah,
guys.
so
Hey guys.
hey guys. Sorry, it's been a long day. As we can see in the chat, there's been lots of trolling already going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I think you
s-
already had messages sent like an hour ago.
really? Yeah, I know you get a lot of people coming at you for like whatever reason. So it just like they're always constantly coming at you. I know Instagram is constantly zucking you, even no matter how you interact with people. And a lot of times I haven't seen you like say anything nasty, but just the interaction. I mean, you know how Instagram gets down. We all know that. We all have had our stuff zucked on Instagram and whatnot, an account, at least one. And, I know you constantly getting banned and getting shadow banned and whatnot is, it is what it is. We can't continue to fucking do the things we do and stay shut. So that's why we're on YouTube. That's where we're on Rumble. That's why we have other platforms that we continue to get our message out. So um let's get
So I
into it.
also have multiple accounts, so just so I can make friends with our friend in the chat here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, so we got somebody by the name of CG Kleismet on YouTube. Thanks. First time looks like he's a first time. He or she is a first time viewer. I don't know what their pronouns are. Not that I
Yeah,
really
I
give
don't
a
know.
n- not that
Probably
I
gotta
give a
change his
fuck.
gender. He's probably in mom's basement thinking about it right
Because
now.
I don't do the pronoun thing, but whatever.
Yeah.
I will try to be somewhat respectful. If
Super
he
gay
or
either
she.
way, just saying.
So I take it you sounds like you have issues with this CG Kleismet.
Oh
Is this
yeah, he
some?
was talking all kinds of shit, and then he's sent me about 35 messages now in the last hour because on a US Army post I commented and I was like, well, this is why masculinity isn't toxic. It's necessary because it absolutely is. We need men to keep us safe and to be protectors because that's what men are, especially in the military. So what I said literally applies to the armed forces. And he was like, keep your politics out of the military. And I'm like, well, sweetheart, I've literally lived in South Korea. I've lived all over the world because of the military. I met Joe Biden when he was vice president. That man literally affected my life and changed the entire course of my life, changed how my marriage turned out. It changed my children's lives. My son was 2 weeks old when his dad deployed to Afghanistan for the last time.
Right.
So, my son, the whole first year of his life, I was in nursing school. I was a brand new mom to a little boy. If my husband would have died then, that's all I would have had left of my son. And people don't understand that. And as much as I didn't like Obama, okay, great. But when my ex-husband came home from Afghanistan, Joe Biden was there at the redeployment ceremony. I was able to meet him. I didn't like him, but I still respected him because, wow, that's really cool. The vice president's here. So that's how you know what you did that last year. Okay, that meant something. The vice
Right.
president's here to shake their hands and give them a coin, which my ex-husband still has his coin, but
Yeah. I can
it
tell
still
you.
meant something. My son, even though my 15-year-old, he's a conservative. He's got a mega hat and everything, and that's what his own but
Right.
he loves that. He loves that he can say, wow, I met Joe Biden when I was a baby. I was 9 months old when his dad came home. So, it's like these people think it's about, healthcare, things like that. But my story goes a lot deeper than just that. And, the reason I became a nurse was so when no matter where we lived, I would always be able to have a job because that's something
Right.
that a lot of military wives aren't able
do.
to do. You know, they're not
Yeah.
able to sustain any sort of, you know, work that actually makes any kind of actual money, you know? So I took advantage of that. You know, the Army offered things for military wives, and I got extra grants, and I went to school, and, you know, I made something of myself, and then I
But
had
those
to walk
tools are
away
there.
from all of it, you know,
Tho-
for what?
tho-
Just to
those
be
tools.
now confirmed correct about every single thing that I said, you
Yeah,
know, and
those
it's
tools are there
insane.
to be used. So, I'm glad you were able to use them and whatnot. And I can tell you, being active duty on two separate occasions, complete with a combat tour and whatnot, I understand exactly what, for people who are married. I wasn't married, so like I didn't go through it, but I did have my son at the time when I went, on my combat tour and whatnot. So, I had to come back. When I came back, I had to explain twice, when I left, because I saw him before I left, and he's like, "Why are you going?" I had to kind of explain to him there, and I didn't lie to my son at all. And then I had to explain to him again, like, what when I came home, because he was sad about things that I was gone for so long and everything. And even though his mother and I weren't with each other anymore, I spent a lot of time with him. He spent a lot of time with me and my family. So it disrupts a lot of everyday life. Uh, there's nothing normal about being in the military and having a normal life. You're just not going to have that. Are there some things that are normal in your life? Absolutely. But there is, like, especially the last 20 years, right or wrong, whether we are what do you call it, right or wrong, whether we agree with why we're in Iraq or Afghanistan and whatnot. Within 20 years we were on a war front, and it just
Right.
disrupted a lot of families. So I can tell you,
Mhm.
um that, what do you call it, I understand how you feel, because it just disrupts stuff and everything. And again,
I think a lot of these Democrats are forgetting about this group of veterans, or this group, you know, you included, you know, this group of, especially when Biden pulled people out of Afghanistan. That literally, to me, that day, I was personally so emotionally upset by that. Like, so that literally means every single thing, all my sacrifices, everything was for nothing. Just just pull everybody out. The people died. They left all the weapons there. You know, I
yeah,
know that sometimes they leave weapons when wars end. I understand that sort of thing, but to me, that was just like it literally was for nothing.
yeah, it,
Now
it
it's
was pretty
even worse than it
egregious.
was. Now they're taking over the entire world, even worse. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty egregious the way things ended, in Afghanistan and whatnot. We lost 13 people on the way out. Um, you
Mhm.
know, I
After 9/11, I never thought I would see people supporting Muslims in this country, and I'm not an anti-Muslim. I include everybody. I love everybody equally. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but after 9/11, I find that just so hard to even comprehend that this country could ever allow themselves to get back to something, to accept anything like that. Mm.
Well, having known history and whatnot, I try to study as much history as possible. And I'm not afraid to say it, because I've said it on this show before. Islam is not, it's not a religion of peace. It was not founded on peace.
It literally
It is
hates
just,
women.
yeah, it is definitely, it's not something that I will ever aspire to. That's not anything, I would tell other people to aspire to. And, we definitely have a problem here. Um, you know,
Yeah.
and so I see CJ Clyde. Okay, so we're gonna put this up and expound on it. So, are you
He
saying
said
that
he
all
was, yeah.
Christians are white supremacists? That's your argument, man.
And he also said he was in a military family. So
He,
that's
he did.
interesting. Yeah.
Well,
So
the
Yeah,
white
how
he
is,
did. He did. We can only go by word here. He did say that he's comes from a military family. He says that his 14-year-old son and I came from military. I'm sorry. I have a 14-year-old son, and I come from a military family. That's what he said. And then he says the MAGA courts ripped him from me, and his mom abandoned him. So I don't know what courts right now are
what courts
MAGA
are MAGA?
courts. Yeah.
what
So if you
state do
can
you live in, dude?
if you can expand on that, on what exactly is a MAGA court. So Christianity is far right, is what you're saying. That's your argument, is that Christians were far right, and what, expand on that, man. I mean, just saying that we're far right doesn't mean shit to me, because, like,
Who,
I don't
who was your
understand what you mean by
judge?
far.
Did you have a
Yeah, I
Republican
mean,
judge? What? Okay, so not only am I a nurse, my dear friend CJ, I also now am a medical manager for a personal injury law firm. So I work with a bunch of badass attorneys. Okay, so I can also give you a whole breakdown on legal stuff too. So why don't you tell us about how mega judges ruined your family? Maybe you were just a bad dad. So why don't you elaborate a little bit, friend?
Yeah. So you said hard right Christian nationalist judges, and how do you know that? Do you know you did history on them? I mean,
Who did
just
you
saying that
vote
they're hard.
for, friend?
Listen, hold on, because just saying hard right,
So stupid.
everything according to everything is supposedly fucking hard right nowadays. Okay, if my view was even down the center, I'd be considered hard right. Guys like Tim Pool, who are fucking liberals,
Well,
okay,
you know
are
what the
considered
funny,
hard right. So like
you know what the funny
I
thing
need
is,
to
MAGA is
know.
not far right.
Yeah, there's nothing far right
MAGA
about
is not
MAGA.
They're
far right
not.
at all. MAGA is populist. People keep conflating them with, oh, you're the far right. Trump is not far right at all. He's a fucking
Okay, so
populist. He's
He's a
practically a
Democrat
classical
most of his
liberal.
life.
Yes, he's in the fucking middle.
So is Elon Musk. Like these people just don't get it. It's the sides have changed. Now moderates, the old moderates are
I've
now
never
that's like
considered him
right,
far right.
it's yeah.
yeah, Elon Musk. There's nothing far right about Elon Musk. He never has been. He never will be.
No.
Even Trump isn't far right. So I know people try to label him that, but he's not. Um, People on his cabinet are. I'm still trying to understand where there were Christian nationalists. Did they have comments? Can you direct me? Just direct me, man. I will. I'll go
Drop a
along
link
with
for
you.
he said there were sites. Drop a link.
Yeah, drop a link, brother. If you can drop a link in
Drop
the
his
chat,
drop
I will
drop
pull it
his
up, man.
docket number.
Yeah, no, it, yeah, what I would like to just if you're saying that your judge was a Christian nationalist who was MAGA, okay, please drop a link in the and I will absolutely have no problem bringing it up, and we can go over this person's record.
And judges
Uh,
don't typically tell who they vote for or if they're MAGA.
yeah,
I'm
no,
pretty sure he
I
didn't wear
want
a
to.
mega hat. So this guy's just
Yeah,
he just lost his kid. He's probably a really shitty dad. Lost his kid
well,
and just has to blame somebody. It's this victim mentality. I
I
suck at
will
my
agree with
life,
you. It's tough.
so I have to
I will
blame it on
no,
agree.
somebody
I'm not.
else.
Listen, hold on, CJ.
It is tough
I'm
to
not
find
trying
this
to.
judge's
Hold on, I'm not
leanings.
trying to. I know you said just Google your name. We don't dox people on this show. Okay, that's one thing we will not do. Um, so like if you want to do that, you dox yourself. We're not gonna dox anybody on the show. If you happen to be on the show and whatnot, uh, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing. You come on because you chose to do that. But we don't dox people on here, brother. Just so you understand, that's just not how we get down. But if you want to give me the judge's name and you could just drop it in the chat, I'll hit the link and we'll bring it up and we'll go over it and we'll, if this judge's record is there, we can find out if they're really far right because everything nowadays is considered far right, and that to me is just not a good argument. Oh, they're far right. You got to prove that they're far right. And what exactly is far right to you? I mean, drop it in the chat. What you think is exactly far right? You said you're a
Someone who's
moderate.
far right has to be at least somewhat
All
right.
right. All right. Now we're gonna. I'm not gonna keep beating him because he said he's working on it. So we're gonna give him an opportunity to drop his information in there on the judge so that we could what do you call it? We can pull it up and go over this far right Christian nationalist judge that he's saying took his kids away from him.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
hopefully that same judge will rule on this Zuckerberg case that went to trial today. I'm so excited. So excited.
About
Yeah.
the divestment
So yeah, listen,
possibility.
Cannot wait.
what's your judge's name, man? My moderator's pretty quick with getting information. If you can drop the judge's name, because you did say the state of Wisconsin, he's pretty fast. Conserve Reality is pretty fast too with getting information, and he just offered to help you out and bring your information
I
up
gotta
because I
say,
want.
if this
Go
was a
ahead.
MAGA court, I gotta see the judge with a red hat on.
Yeah, I got to
That
see
would be
that.
awesome.
But yeah,
Because
far
that to
right
me,
means nationalist.
That's a MAGA court.
Yeah, far right to him means a nationalist. Well, I'm a nationalist, so I guess I'm far right. White supremacist. I'm not a white supremacist, but again, they call blacks and Hispanics white supremacists now.
Yeah,
Hardline religious. What the fuck is hardline religious? I don't even understand that. Against separation of
He
church and
doesn't
state.
understand it either. It's just
Uh, uh, who's against church?
Alden.
Who's against? Listen, you obviously got to axe to grind with the church. A lot of people do. Okay. Ballotpedia. What do you want me to use Ballotpedia for? To find who?
to look up the judge.
Yeah, we can do that.
This dude's just wasting time. He doesn't even have a judge. He's probably just making it all up. It's
No,
just,
well, but we're gonna give him an opportunity here, right? Like
I know.
I'm extending an opportunity for him to give us the information so we can get his argument in place. He's got an axe to grind against a judge, that took his child away from him. So I'm giving him the opportunity to show me what happened.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shit all over
I
you,
get it.
bro.
I just have an extra grind with him because
I
of his
gotcha.
mouth
And you go
today
ahead.
and everybody
Well,
else's mouth in my
you go
messages
ahead
all
and
week, telling me to go kill myself and telling me to go do this and go do that. Well, I'm here to tell him
you
exactly what I think about him, just like I called them all out today and said, if you have a problem with me or want to know what I think about
right,
something, please feel free to join me live and I'll personally tell you exactly what I think about you, like our friend
correct.
CJ here. I don't give a shit. Will not be
That's the
bullied, will not be scared by any man or any woman or anybody
so
anywhere in this world.
is that the docket number, CJ? Says 2011, and it looks
Probably
like
his inmate number.
it looks like a. Is that your docket number?
Savage.
Yeah, but yeah, we all get death threats all the time. I know for a fact I see her getting death threats all the time on her page, and she doesn't even comment like the way some people do, and she gets
Lately, all
fucking
I've been doing is putting South Park GIFs as my actual comments. Literally,
right.
99% of my comments is just South Park. It
Yeah,
literally is the story of my life, and that's 99% of what I've been posting.
yeah,
Although
but
lately there has been some COVID talk because of the thing with the nurses being found with the brain tumors and all this.
yeah,
And then
Oh,
people
God.
trying to tell me what I know and don't know about biology and all these
I
different
did
things.
see that. I did see that.
Was it a
Um,
hospital in Massachusetts that had a bunch of them?
Yes. So now after the hospital did an investigation, so there was an internal investigation because there was initially
Mhm.
5 nurses that still were currently working at the hospital that this was
Right.
found out somehow. Some of the tumors are malignant, some are benign, some are requiring surgery, whatever different circumstances. Um, but now that the hospital did a story, there's been all these stories, and now the Nurses Association in Massachusetts is also doing an investigation. Has also publicly announced that they're doing investigation. Now there's been 20, and well, this was 2 days ago. There was 25 nurses that worked at that hospital during the time of COVID, the COVID vaccines being given. So and it all came from the same exact COVID vaccine batch. They all worked in labor and delivery in that hospital. They didn't work on any other, but it was, so I don't know what happened. The hospital ruled out that there was no other and nothing in the hospital that caused it. So they're
so
already
no,
trying to take, they're already trying to make they're already trying to deny liability as far as the facility goes, which of course they're going to do.
so no additional contributors that they could find.
Right. So, but all of them had the same exact COVID vaccine batch. So,
Okay,
I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm just a nurse. I might know biology. I mean, I would say I do because, it's probably part of my job. But, you know,
Mhm.
I just don't understand this. I don't know. I just we don't know if it's related. We don't know if it's not related. Like people tell me, oh, you're this anti vaccine person. Well, I'm absolutely not. I've had vaccinations my whole life. Before I went to South Korea, I got like
yeah,
5 really weird vaccinations for like encephalitis and like this is a bunch of weird shit because I was like a nurse and I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go get a bunch of shit because it's probably what I need. I didn't need any of that stuff. I was really interesting with tetanus. So tetanus was something that was back in like World War I, World War II, and really
yeah,
the only people that ever got tetanus were soldiers, and it
right.
was like usually battle wounds that were infected. Typically these days, for a person to be infected with tetanus, you don't need a tetanus shot. You don't need this every 5 or 7 years. It's complete
Correct.
bullshit.
Right.
All it is a push to make people get more vaccines, which in turn is more money for big pharma. That's all that it is. Just like the flu vaccine, right? And this is why the COVID vaccine was all shit to me, right? It was because my first nursing job I ever had, they said it is required for you to get a flu vaccine. So me being the good little nurse that I was like, okay. So I got the flu vaccine and then I got infected with a different strain of the flu. And then I was sicker than shit. I missed a whole week of work because I got the flu. So I got a vaccine for one strain of flu. But as we know with viruses, and if we've ever taken courses in biology, my liberal friends, Okay. We would know that there's different strains of viruses, just like HIV, right? So that's why you have to constantly have to change your combination drugs for HIV because the virus constantly mutates. So the flu, there's different strains. It's always going to mutate. Bacteria is the same way, which is why most antibiotics our bodies are resistant to these days. And if you're treated with it so often, it will not work at all for your body. So
Correct.
if you put
Especially at the
too much shit
hospitals.
in your body will not work like it's supposed to, and you won't have the tolerance. I have
Yeah.
natural immunity because I've been exposed to C. diff, I've been exposed to MRSA, I've been exposed to
Yeah.
shit
As
Sure.
a
throw up
nurse,
on me,
You were a
absolutely.
nurse,
upon
yeah.
me, around
Yeah,
me, in the air,
absolutely.
on the walls.
Yeah.
I've seen births. I've seen, people want to ask me about biology. Well, I've seen a childbirth. I can promise you, I know exactly how biology is. And people want to know why it makes a difference. And they want to say, well, why you don't know anything about biology, Megan? You're just a nurse. You're not a biologist or a virologist or an
God.
epidemiologist. Can you
Yeah.
even spell that, people? Probably not. But anyways, well, guess what? If you come into a hospital, if you come into an emergency room and you're a woman pretending to be a man and you're really a woman and you don't tell them that you're a woman, then they don't know to assess you for pregnancy. They don't know to
Correct.
assess you for all the things that could be happening with you. They don't know about, maybe they don't, ask you if you're pregnant because they're not going to do an x-ray on you. So if you want to pretend you're a man because you want to, and if you want to pretend you're a man and not really tell them you're a woman, well, you could be killing your baby. You could end up dying of a blood clot, whatever, because they're not assessing and treating the pregnancy or
Yeah.
whatever. So this is why biology matters, friends, and we need to tell people when we go to the hospital. Like, also, like in California, certain things that they want you to ask a grown man, a 6'4" man, if he's pregnant before testing. I'm not asking any man if he's pregnant today, tomorrow, any day. I don't give a shit how much money anybody asked me or offered me. It's fucking crazy. So yes,
Yeah.
I know biology. I'm not an epidemiologist or a biologist,
What
but I'm a
people don't
fucking
understand.
realist and I live in
Yeah.
reality. So
Yeah,
there it is, friends.
what
Tell
a lot of
people what your
people
sex is.
what a lot of people don't understand, except for states like California, New
Mind
York, and
blowing.
Illinois and whatnot, the real Marxist states. In every other place, once it doesn't matter if you come in and you say you're a woman, right? Like you're a dude, and they know you're a guy, they're gonna treat you like a man no matter what, right? Because if you come in with fucking
Exactly.
testicular cancer and and you got you're just a dude with fucking fake tits, all right, it doesn't matter. They still got to treat you for fucking testicular cancer, and you might lose a nut, okay, but they're gonna treat you no matter what, right? So it doesn't matter if you put fucking fake boobs on. Medically, they're gonna they're gonna treat you the way your biology fucking made you out, the way God made you out, okay? And it just is what it is. So, like I said, I know states like California, New York, and Illinois are absolutely batshit crazy with all of this stuff. Probably Colorado now, but it doesn't matter when it comes to medicine. They're going to treat you the fucking gender that you were born with. That's just the way it
But
is.
not New Jersey though. So New Jersey, they had a questionnaire now that they give new parents, right? Asking
You
them
dropped.
what their giant assigned gender is at birth, what their
Yeah.
sexual orientation is. What the fuck?
Did she hear
What does
you?
the newborn baby have any sexual orientation for anything? I mean, it's just absolutely
There
it's
we go.
like they're already sexualizing newborn babies. It's totally bizarre to me.
I'm trying to.
I can't comprehend it. But they're
Right.
also the same people that aren't, you're not allowed to call it's like a breastfeeding person or a birthing person. It's not even a mother anymore. It's like, no,
No.
mother, get it right.
Hey, conserve. Just 1 second. Just let me just say
Sorry,
hi
I'm
to
ranting and
Rognina.
raving.
No, let me just. It's right. Let me say hi to Rognina. Let me say what's up to Travis Spain. I think this is the first time I've seen you. If you've been in the chat before, I apologize. So it's good to have you.
Hi,
Did I
Travis.
miss anybody? Jonathan Stevie, Conserve Reality, and we're still waiting on your information. Conserve. Can you what do you call it? Drop in the private chat a link to whatever we need to for CJ so we can bring it up if you find whatever, because I see the conversation on the side and I see that it seems to be a bit unclear when it comes to all the cases on the docket and whatnot. So when you get a chance, conserve, just drop it in the private chat and I'll bring it up. But we're gonna keep going on with the one and only. So just so you know, haven't forgot about you, CJ. Just because we're talking, we do got a show to put on, so we got to continue to move forward. But between my moderator and Conserve Reality, they're gonna get the information that I need to put up on the screen, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to go ahead and rant in the chat because you're claiming that your judges were far right nationalists and Christian ideologues or whatever, and I just want to. Oh, all right, Travis, first time here. It's great to have you. So I just want to know because everybody's labeled far right. So now you don't care. I'm giving you an opportunity to tell your story, but now you don't care. Yeah, this is recorded, man. We're live right now,
Absolutely
bro.
recorded.
Just came here to
Be.
take the attention off of me. That's all he's doing. He's just trying to
Yeah,
waste my time. That's all he's doing.
This
I've got
is
to
bro,
just.
this is going to be posted and viewed. I don't know, at least 8 times.
bro. This is
I'm
on
just kidding.
Rumble. It's on Rumble and YouTube live right now. This shit ain't getting taken
Yeah.
down. Yeah,
Sucks to suck.
What did you think we
yeah.
were doing here?
I don't know what the fuck you thought we're doing. We're not fucking around
I
here.
gave you an open invitation, friend. I said 8
Post
p.m. Don't be
post
late.
what? Are you talking to us to post it? It's live on fucking YouTube and Rumble right now.
Yeah, it's practically posted already.
It's like you can and it's not going anywhere. It's not going to get taken down. It's not going to be private afterwards. It stays public. So anything you say in the chat, anything we discuss, okay? Reason I said we don't dox people, but you put your name in the chat. So that's on you. So now my moderator and Conserve Reality are doing their due diligence, okay, to find your case so we can bring it up so I can give you an opportunity to talk your case because you're saying that, MAGA is fucking far right, which it isn't, okay? That you obviously have an axe to grind with MAGA. You said you left a comment in your comments. You said you grew up in a Tea Party. So how you don't understand how MAGA is just as populist as a Tea Party? I don't get that, bro. Man, you could use my fuck. I don't even give a shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why would I sue you for intellectual property when I'm whatever, man.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. So anyway, what were you saying, Blondie? Go ahead,
I don't
Blondie.
know.
You were gonna say something.
I was
Scott,
going to
you were
say
gonna
if he's still Tea Party, then he's like a guy without a country, then, because the Tea Party's really not doing anything right now.
Yeah. Okay, so
He's
it's
got
the
no
logic.
party.
He's not with the Democrats. He's not with the Republicans.
His only party is in his mom's basement.
Fool, you just don't want to have
Maybe.
to sue. Wait. I didn't want to have to sue you for using my intellectual property. What fucking intellectual
You
property,
don't have
bro?
any intellect.
You have
You
no
haven't
IP
given us any
here, man.
property.
Bro, you're on my IP.
You came to this chat.
You came to this chat. Yo, man.
Can't make
I
this
don't
stuff
even
up,
know.
guys.
Yeah.
Can't make it up.
I mean, unless he's being like held at gunpoint over there, like to
What would happen? What would
attend the
happen?
chat.
Nobody's using your IP, man.
Maybe
Right
his
from the
boyfriend is
get-go.
holding him at gunpoint.
Yeah,
You never know.
right from the get-go, I said, okay, we don't dox anybody on here, so I didn't want to get your name. All right, but you put your name in the chat, which is a public chat, so that IP shit is gone right out the fucking window with that. Okay, so that you can't sue anybody in that. You put your name in there. We didn't do it.
I mean, there could be people watching the chat that we don't even know. It's open. It's an open live stream.
Yeah, it's an open live stream, man, on both YouTube and Rumble, and we're just gonna keep going because I've given you an
We got plenty of
opportunity.
lurkers out
All right,
there.
trying to be fair with you. All right, because you
Nice.
have an axe to grind, like I said, with MAGA and with Christians and everything like that. And you said your judge was a far right nationalist, and I just wanted to see proof of that, right? To see the judge's history and whatnot, and how they come down on people. So I was trying to give you an opportunity to say things, but for you to sue me for whatever, I don't understand, man. Sue me for IP. There's no IP. There's fair use up here, brother. We're live right now on Rumble and YouTube, and you put your information in the chat. So if you tried to sue me on that you're not. It's not gonna work, man. And again, I didn't dox you. You doxed yourself.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Anyways.
Yeah, so
the judge is gonna love that.
Yeah, go ahead, Blondie. So you were talking about we got into the cancer cases that were going on. You were talking about that with the nurses and it looks like their vaccination for COVID all came from the same batch, correct?
Yes.
All right, and then you went in a little.
They have confirmed that they did this. So they did confirm that they all did get the COVID vaccine.
Hmm.
was all
Wow.
from that same batch. But so I guess I'm curious, which so I mean, I never gave a COVID vaccine ever in my life. I never received it, so I'm not, but coming from a vial for that amount of nurses, I could see, so the vials come in a package, it's put,
Hmm.
I could see that that would be how that amount of people were affected and not other people. So something happened in this vaccination batch, which we don't
Mm.
know because there's so much shit in these vaccinations. People, and
Right.
that's another thing, another really good point I saw somebody bring up to on Instagram was, there's a lot of things that people are allergic to that, and in these vaccinations, there's a lot of things that you wouldn't even believe, like fetal parts. And there's even, I don't know how true this is, but even um, I heard that they were putting HIV in there. So people are actually testing positive now for HIV, some threshold of it. I'm not sure how
Uh-huh.
true that is. I'm really curious on what that actually, if that's actually true or not. But they put all these really weird things in vaccines. And with
Right.
COVID, it's an mRNA vaccine. So it's literally changing.
What?
So a regular vaccination, what it's doing is it's putting a part of the live virus into your body. So what your body does, it signals your white blood cells to 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 identify that there's a virus, to make something to kill that virus. So that way, if you actually get infected with it again, your body will remember and say, "Oh yeah, I remember this." So make a bunch of cells and they'll kill it. But when you have something like an mRNA one, it's actually changing your DNA in your cells. So that instead of your cells having the actual natural reaction to like an autoimmune or any sort of immune issue, the vaccine is changing your cells. And the issue with COVID and any of these mRNA vaccines is that they don't know yet the physiology of how that's actually changing the cells. So that's why some people are getting cardiovascular issues because it's affecting the heart
Mhm.
cells, and some people, other people, it might not. But what could be causing that? Could it be people that have the people that might already have a family history of like heart disease. So those people might be more
Sure.
likely, so it's all these different things that we just don't know yet. That'll be
Right.
really interesting to find out. But I'm sure that the COVID vaccines related to all of these things, the increased miscarriages. I posted something the other day
Mhm.
about that actually. Alabama had the highest increase of pregnancy related deaths 6 weeks postpartum. So, and the peak of that was in 2021.
Hmm.
So that's interesting also because it was in women that were, 25 to 35. So it's younger, older women or, other, health problems. They can cause, cardiovascular issues in childbirth and after. But for, a 25-year-old woman that gives birth, it's not typical that you see a cardiovascular issue 6 weeks after birth. It's if you're a healthy woman with no problems or anything, that's just not a common thing. So the fact that there's this increase of it and it's right during COVID, also, I wonder how many of them were vaccinated, and what effects did that have on their babies and the miscarriages? So there's just so many
Mhm.
questions that need to be answered, and we just don't know enough. So
Right.
until I have any argument otherwise, I stand on that. It's definitely, the COVID vaccine is more likely than not, the culprit in all of this. I'm not gonna, you know, swear on that because I don't know for sure. Obviously,
I
we need the
gotcha.
research, we need all those things, but
Right. You gotta have all the facts in order to, I gotcha. You're just
exactly.
putting out exactly what, where we're at with it right now and stuff
Right.
like that.
And
So
just like with any vaccine, I tell people, get in, when you get any procedure ever, you have to sign an informed consent document at your provider, whether that's a hospital, surgical consult, your primary care doctor, even your dentist, right? You have to
yeah.
sign that saying, I was told all of the benefits, all the risks, all the side effects, all of the treatment plan. I was told all these things. I know all of this and I'm signing and saying I accept that this because they will, that's something that they can rely on in court, because if you've signed that, you can't say, "Oh, I didn't know." Well, you did know because I told you and you signed this document saying you knew. So the COVID vaccine, nobody knew. People were just, you didn't really have all the information, so you weren't really informed to give consent. So,
Right.
it's, I don't tell people not to get vaccines. I tell people to be informed about everything. And if you're going to do it, discuss it with your provider, your doctor. If that's something that's something you decide is best for you, then please do it. That's great, whatever. But just because I decide not to, because I have natural immunity and I'm probably never going to get it, never got COVID, probably never will, that doesn't make me, the devil or like a Nazi or like, I don't think I need to go kill myself because of that. So I think that's like a little crazy. I think it just makes me an informed person that asks questions because science literally is about asking questions and finding out other answers.
Right.
So, anyways, those are my
Yeah,
thoughts.
I agree with you 100%. I actually posted that. I posted that once before. It was like, anybody who tells you that the science is settled is not really scientific at all, and that's not how you
Yeah,
do
what does that
science.
even mean?
It's literally how things are discovered is by researching further.
Hmm. And what I've seen, science has never settled. I mean, sometimes
So
things are they're there for like hundreds of years, and they realize, hey, you know what?
yeah,
We've actually wrong on this.
yeah.
Yeah.
So CJ, your argument again was, and I'm giving you the opportunity, man. I'm not even coming down on you. You labeled me as a Christian, a nationalist. If you didn't, I'll please explain. All right, but you said that a Christian nationalist uh essentially took your kids away, and I don't want to put your business out there because, like I said, we don't dox people on here. If you want your information out there, you got to tell me, because it looks like my moderator and Conserve Reality are trying to do their due diligence to get your point, help you get your point out and stuff. Even though you said you don't need their help, that's just how we do, right? Because you made a statement, and I just want to see what the issue is. You obviously have an axe to grind. You never did what? All right, so hang on. Yeah.
I wish this
Let's
dude
go
would
find.
share his picture because he looks exactly like you think he would. It's actually, I literally laughed out loud a couple times when I saw it.
His dad is the reason may discuss anything. Mama, you just called me. Yeah.
So
I have a
funny.
14-year-old. The MAGA courts. This is you saying that the MAGA courts ripped your kids from you, which is what I just said, man.
Where are their MAGA cords? Because as far as I can
I'm
tell,
still trying to figure that out too.
I mean, are you talking
Um,
about he was a Trump-appointed judge?
no,
Does that
this
qualify as
is
a MAGA court?
this is something that we agreed on. He says he supported the war. I have 2 college degrees on a medical chemist, and fervent supporter. He disagreed with the withdrawal, which we all did. I disagree for different reasons. He says he's a moderate, and then this is shitting on Christians, okay? Because you said you didn't. All right, Christians are equally as bad. I see white supremacist memes all the time. I don't know how that's correlating with actual Christians. Uh,
So, I mean,
so
so what
Jonathan
if
said
somebody else
Islam
is
is the
posting a
religion was
meme? Who
pedos
cares?
and with pedos and comos. You said so is Christianity. So you're shitting all over Christians. You said you didn't, but you did. All right. So is Christianity. That's you. And that was you responding to this. Okay. And you said that Christians are roughly equivalent to the far right. I don't see it that way. Then you said, and I'm asking you because you said hard right Christian nationalist judges. This is what you were saying. Okay. So you said you never did, but you did say that. All right. We got it right here. Receipts, man. All right. And I'm just asking you. I'm not fucking trying to come down on you at all. We're trying to figure out what happened, okay, to you because you have this axe to grind.
Yeah, we might actually be able to help you, dude. Like, just give us a chance. We're
Yeah.
not terrible people. We really aren't the devil, I promise.
Yeah. And then you said that there are pro-Christian, anti-Jewish memes. I've seen that, but is every Christian doing that?
Yeah, I mean, to
I
lump
mean, you're
everybody in just
equating,
because you see them somewhere.
yeah, you're equating every single Christian, okay, to anti-Jewish memes. I have seen that. I will agree that has occurred. Can't say that didn't happen. We don't lie on this show.
Yeah, I mean, I've never posted anything like that, but
So, all right. So your
I
belief
see
is that
them.
you dislike Christians and Muslims equally, correct? You're saying we're both the same. We're definitely not both the same, but that's how you feel, and it's okay for you to feel that way. Last I checked, we still live in America. You know, and like Conserve Reality says, okay, because Conserve Reality is always a voice of reason for us. He says, agreed. Lots of religiously charged content out there. They're just memes until they are taken further and used for acts of violence. That's where the line is crossed. Exactly, man. You know, you said the fundamentalist evangelicals funded MAGA's campaign. You think that it was just evangelicists that are part of MAGA, man? I
No.
mean, okay, so you just disagree with religion. All right, we got that clear. I just saw your comment. You don't dislike either. You're just saying you fundamentally disagree with religion's basis. So you're an atheist. Is that what you're saying? You have a right to be an atheist. All right?
Where
That's your prerogative. Nobody here is gonna, I'm a devout fucking, I'm a Christian
where
here and
where
and
would
many of
where would Elon Musk fall? Because last time I checked, I really don't think he's evangelical.
yeah, there's nothing evangelical about Elon Musk.
He
So
gave
he says
Trump a ton of
he's
money.
yeah, he dropped a ton of money.
I mean,
Um,
and if he's not the focal point of everything Trump's doing right now, I mean, I turn on the news.
Yeah, everything is Elon's the president. Every time you
Yeah,
turn on the fucking news.
Elon's evil. He's a Nazi.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard, not a Christian. So I don't know if you were really paying attention to this last election. You're saying that the evangelicists paid for MAGA. That's just not true. Okay.
They
Did they
probably
make
gave him
payments?
some money.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure they do. They did. We actually talk about that here. We shit all over Act Blue, but you know who we also shit over on this channel? Win Red, because they do the same fucking thing that Act Blue does. Okay. Um, yeah, no one on either side likes Mike Pence. That is true. We all can't stand Mike Pence.
we can agree on that.
We can agree on that one. That's for sure. Uh,
J.D. Vance really puts him to shame as far
yeah.
as
So
vice
the
presidents
evangelical
go.
movement, 100% conservative reality, was because of Mike Pence. All right.
Right.
Did they contribute? CJ, we can't say that they didn't because that would be false. All right. But there were so many of the contributions from all over the country. Okay. And MAGA turned into something that the Marxist left didn't think was going to happen. Hey, Rosie Riveter, what's going on? Honey, it's nice to see you. So for you to just say that MAGA is, if you feel that MAGA is just a bunch of Christian nationalists, you're absolutely 100% incorrect. So Mike Johnson is living in the DC home of a radical fundamentalist preacher. But what does that have to do with the rest of MAGA? I don't understand that. You're
Um,
talking about one
Mike
person,
Johnson
man.
is Mike Johnson is not MAGA, by the way.
Yeah, he's not even remotely MAGA.
He's not
What
MAGA.
does that have to
So
do with his court case? I mean, this guy, he's just making up stuff. I don't even think,
No,
I don't know, this,
no, they actually
this,
Conserve and Jonathan did find some stuff. So like he
oh, did they? Oh, okay.
yeah, they did. They found stuff. So like, I'm not, unless he tells me I can put it on the screen, I'm not going to put it on the screen because I wouldn't do that. Yes, we know he's the Speaker of the House, man. We're
yeah,
not
but he's
fucking
not
morons
MAGA.
here, but he's not MAGA.
He's definitely not MAGA.
There's nothing MAGA about him, bro. Let's see. All right. Yep. I tried to pull up that Ballotpedia you put in the link for, and it just said, "Oops, this page you're looking for does not exist." So I couldn't pull up that information, man. I tried to pull it up. Anyway, uh, let me bring up something. Let's get on current events like we usually do. Um, I don't know if you guys, we were talking about vaccines. This is again, a no-no. Here, we'll bring this up and we'll get your insight on this, Blondie. Hang on, what is he saying? What is he saying? It doesn't. It doesn't. You're making this all about my case rather than MAGA. I'm not making this shit about your case, bro. You're the one who brought your case up in the first place, man. And I've
Yeah, we weren't
asked
even
you.
talking.
You said your judges were MAGA, and we're trying to get that information. You were saying that your judges were Christian nationalists, and that the judges in Wisconsin are like that. To my understanding, they have a fucking Marxist Supreme Court right now in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin is like not even that's not even a deep red state. So
it's not even a
if
deep
it's
red state. We're out.
if there was a state that could go further to the right, please, it'd be Wisconsin.
Yeah, I know. Did you link me? Where
Or
did you link me,
Michigan.
CJ?
Michigan too.
So I can find it. So I can, be correct about it. Hang on. Yeah, it's not conserve. It's not coming up for me either, man. I tried. I pulled up your link, bro. Here, I'll show you so you guys see that I'm not dicking around with this. I'm trying to give CJ a fair shot, because like we're not assholes on this show, and when people make comments, we just want them to back their shit up. That's all. And if they got proof that they can back it up, we'll pull it up for them.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got to make a freaking change here. Hey, this is what I got. Conserve. I get that oops thing. It's not coming up on my end for whatever reason, guys. I got to copy and paste that link. Okay. Did you put it, Jonathan? You put it in the Discord? I can pull it up in the Discord. Let me give it a shot. Because I just, all right, hang on. Yeah, it's still not coming up, guys. I'm not lying to you. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, CJ. All right, because we don't just fucking bullshit on this show. All right, my guys, my moderator, and conserve, okay, are looking for stuff. Yeah, I saw the PM. I went to look at it, Jonathan, and it's not coming up, and I'll show it to you guys. That I get the stupid oops thing is what it is. That's what's happening to me. So I did get it. He sent the link. You guys, I'm trying to do the right thing here, guys. Here, just so you guys can see what I get on the link that you guys sent me. This is what I get, guys. All right. So just so you guys know, I'm not dicking around. I'm not having a bad day, man. You just didn't want me to break what? Break what? The law? How would I be breaking the law on a public channel? All right. Send it to me again in the PM, Jonathan. And we'll go back to that. But anyway, until I can find that, CJ, I will, what do you call it? Till I could get it correct link so that we can look on the Ballotpedia and you can see the donations and whatnot. What IP laws, man? What IP laws are you worried about, man?
Really confused.
Oh, what Blondie said on a public platform? Hang on one second.
Oh, what did I say?
Yeah, hang on.
Oh,
I got to go back. He did say something. He said that you said something that you said to him in your conversations with him on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, when I told him that since he's never been in the military, him and his opinion are irrelevant. Absolutely. And I stand on that, friend. And now since he's just being, the way he's acting, he's just, whatever. It's just so stupid. Get a life, dude. Go back to your mom's basement, friend. Like,
so anything he's saying, anything he
he's
posts
taking
on
up my entire podcast. So can we
Yeah.
just not give him any more attention? Like, not my
Yeah, so-
podcast, but I mean, this, this dude needs to go play in traffic.
Yeah, he's
honestly.
saying anything he posts on Instagram is instantly copyrighted. So
Well, great. Tell him that I'm actually filing a Meta lawsuit, and it's actually not. So you might want to reread your terms of service for 2025, CJ. But guess what?
Anything he
We'll see you in
says is
court,
copyrighted.
whatever. But
yeah,
this is
anything he
my time.
posts on
So go
his
play in
is-
traffic, friend.
So I guess he's probably gonna post shit about me, about this
Great.
thing.
I'm gonna post shit about him. That's exciting.
I've tried to be fair with him,
We haven't
Chat, have I
posted
not been
anything.
tried to be fair? I tried to be fair to get his message out, saying he was talking about MAGA. He was saying that his judges were MAGA. And we're having issues pulling it up. Okay, I've done my due diligence. My people have done the due diligence, and just trying to what do you call it? Give him a fair shot because we don't just shit on people here.
And now
Only when they
we could have actually helped him. We could have gave him some sort of trajectory or maybe some sort
yeah
of alternative, something he could have done
yeah.
maybe to help him.
Listen,
But he
eh,
wants to act like that, so he can go play in traffic. Have fun, never seeing your kid, I guess.
so just so we could get your opinion on this, Blondie says the Trump administration fast tracks the controversial self-amplifying mRNA vaccine for H5N1 bird flu. That's the newest thing. That just
Yeah, I need
uh
to read about this. So when is this supposed to be released?
I'll read it right now for you.
Hold
It
on,
says
I can zoom
the
up.
Trump administration has granted fast track designation to a groundbreaking and controversial self-amplifying mRNA mRNA vaccine candidate targeting the H5N1 avian influenza virus. The vaccine ARCT-2304, developed by Arcturus Therapeutics, is now in phase 1 trials and has been positioned by federal health authorities as a frontline defense against a potential bird flu pandemic. The designation, announced April 10th, was awarded by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration in partnership with the Department of Health and Human Services and its Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority. The fast track designation from the FDA expedites the review of drugs intended for serious or life threatening conditions that demonstrate the potential to address unmet medical needs. So that's where we're at again, fast tracking stuff.
Zero
Yeah.
lessons learned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't get it. I mean, why would they do this?
Well, you know,
They're gonna give it to the
he's
chickens? Like, I mean, are we supposed to
yeah, I
take
don't
this?
know.
I'm not taking a fucking bird flu vaccine. I'm taking any of these vaccines.
Yeah, man. So anyway, you guys saw I tried to be fair with CJ. I don't just dog on people and stuff like that. Um, it's he's got issues with MAGA and the courts and whatnot for his own personal reasons, got an axe to grind. So he's more than welcome to come on the show and speak his piece if he wants to. But right now we're gonna continue with Blondie and we're just gonna keep moving forward with current events and whatnot. So yeah, this fast track shit. This we got into that same problem with the COVID vaccine with for emergency use and stuff, and Operation Warp Speed, which was an issue, obviously. Um, so this type of stuff, I'm not. When I see shit like this, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
It seems like we have right back to where we left off last term.
Yeah,
They probably have
yeah,
the science down for this as far as manufacturing these mRNA vaccines, but
yeah.
Oh,
maybe,
by
for
the
these.
way, sorry, I was going to say, and that the one that they're fast tracking just so also happens to be a Bill Gates vaccine.
Right.
So that was what I was gonna say was, for these liberals that want, a vaccine every single day of their lives and just like thrive on this stuff for whatever reasons, they can go get, if they want to go get 75, if they want to go get 50, 11 bird flu vaccines, you go right on ahead, but I don't think that Trump and RFK, I don't think they're going to push us to be mandated to get it.
Yeah.
They can
Hope
manufacture
not.
whatever vaccines, and
Yeah.
the
I
sheep will
don't
go
think.
get the vaccines and they'll
Yeah.
keep making money off of it.
Yeah. I don't
Doesn't
think they'll
mean, as long
mandate.
as they don't mandate it, I don't really give a shit what they do.
Yeah, Conserve Realities responding to you says, Blondie, this is a new wave under Trump's FDA and RFK Jr. So the point is, they can create a vaccine all they want. If they start to mandate it, force people to take it, then that's an issue. Obviously, it is. We all have problems with any kind of mandates, and
Well,
whatnot. And like Blondie was saying, it is your right to go pump whatever you want into your system. Nobody's stopping you. Go and do it if you want to, and it's all good, really. Do you?
there
We're gonna do us.
there is
That's
the
just the way it
question of
is.
shedding though, and there's a
Yeah,
lot of people that are concerned about that.
yeah.
If you're trying to do the good thing, it's basically like secondhand smoke. Um,
Okay.
and not to mention too, for young people, I mean, wasn't it even back in 2020? Wasn't there already concerns from or 21 or whatever Wasn't there already concerns where people were trying to get non-vaccinated sperm, or
I think that's actually a thing now. Like that's like
it's
um
not. Yeah, it wasn't a joke. It was like people were like, it was a problem,
yeah
and I don't know.
yeah no
Interesting.
they
Could
were
be it
that
could be a niche market there for
I think so.
some unvaccinated guys.
I think I see people. I think I only see. So I honestly saw women were like fucking just doing meme shit and stuff like that, talking
Oh
about
yeah.
looking for candidates with fucking unvaccinated sperm and
Well,
stuff.
that's a
Obviously,
real concern though, because
that
we don't
is.
know the sort of repercussions. I mean, that might be the next generation kids has like five
Yeah,
legs. I mean, maybe they will end up
yeah,
with both male and female parts. Maybe that was the point. Who really fucking knows?
yeah.
That's certainly a possibility.
Conserve reality says he's
But I won't be finding
unvaccinated.
it out. Neither will my kids. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
conserve says I'm unvaccinated. I got enough to go around. He says he'll save the world. What
exactly.
an ass. But anyway, so before we move on, you also because CJ's probably gonna go back to his his page and probably talk shit about us. I was not discourteous to him at all. Okay, I tried to give him every opportunity. He was talking. He brought his case up. He put his name in the chat and whatnot. I didn't dox him, so let's get that clear. YouTube and Rumble, nobody was doxed by my account. He did it to
Yeah,
himself.
he brought it up.
Um, and he's talking about me bitching about I guess he's gonna post my face or whatever on his page. He can do whatever he wants. I really could care. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't get caught up in that bullshit. I'm a 51-year-old dude, man. I don't. I just don't have time for that. So he can say whatever he wants about me on his fucking page and talking about he will sue me for rights, whatever, whatever. I don't really give a shit. But
Yeah.
you know,
Well, for the record, also he responded under my comment with his
right,
little "Don't insert your politics into the military." Well, friend,
right,
my politics are because of the military, so you might want to,
yeah,
fact check yourself there. And I also respond, my thing was from my band Blondie account because,
yeah.
I get all the hateful, disgusting messages, but I woke up to a 7-day ban this morning.
Yeah,
So,
that
you
they
know,
constantly zucking you, Blondie. You wait
because
every
I have
day.
so
It's
much
like
to say.
something
And
new.
obviously, and like we could tell it from some of our friends in the chat here, apparently I need to say it because
You
if it's triggering people that bad to literally before we even got into the studio, he already had his messages typed waiting for us in the thing. Like
yeah,
he was that unhinged. He was probably about to smash his phone. Like I
yeah,
love this shit. It's great.
yeah,
If my job proves people wrong after they want to call me trans and call me all these fucking derogatory terms and all this shit, I'm no fucking man, never was, never will be. Sorry. You're still not gonna see my tits, but yeah, I'm a woman. Sorry. You know what I mean? And these men, their only interaction with a woman ever is to insult them. So that's the only reason these little scrubs that
Mm,
live in mommy's basement that have zero interaction with women ever. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it's just so crazy. But that's okay.
yeah.
That's why I
So
make multiple accounts because not only do they not shut me up, I just talk more and more and I just make more and more accounts. I just don't
right.
give an actual shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see. The thing is, like, I see some
And
of
the
your
women
comments
are
because
crazy.
you repost it. Yeah, I know the women are fucking more nuts, but like, you don't ever say anything like nasty to anybody unless they get nasty with you.
Mhm.
Other than that, you hit them with information, you hit them with fucking truth, right? And then unless they say something stupid to you, all right, you don't. I've never seen you be disrespectful unless someone actually came at you. And if they come at you, then you have every right to fucking say whatever you want right back to them. And yeah, conserve reality. I saw that you were being really nice to him. Jonathan said he was holding back for me. Jonathan, you got full freaking you can go full send when you need to, so don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about me. I was actually trying to be polite to him. Okay, I don't have to be, but we are a professional fucking group of people that we always bring on this show. And Blondie has every right to fucking rip into him because he's been giving her shit on Instagram, and even she, okay, tried to be, polite. Huh? We can't hear you. Can't hear you, Blondie.
Oh no, I said I personally invited him to come
Yeah.
to
No,
this
you did.
podcast so I could tell him exactly what I thought about him. So
And
I
you
called
did
him
that.
out and he came. So
Yeah, he did. He did, and you
People
did
want to
too.
ban me. I can't talk on Instagram or whatever. I'm going to talk
Yeah.
on here.
But where he was going with the IP shit, I don't even understand that because like I don't, there's no fucking, it's all fair use. And I guess like I said, he was indicating that he's gonna fucking, he called me neckbeard or some shit like that. I thought it was pretty funny actually. That he was
I
gonna
called him a
ridicule.
neckbeard earlier.
Oh,
He used
oh,
my
you called him
term.
a neckbeard. Oh, that
I
was your
did.
words.
Wow.
That was
Now
your
he's
words
even
to
going to
him.
steal
Oh,
my
man.
terms. Man, dude, you need
Yeah,
to go
wait
get
a
your
minute.
own insults.
Wait a minute. Maybe well, let's bring up his comment
You
because
Is this a South
um
Park
are
episode?
it
you
is.
are a
Are you in
neckbeard.
South
I am
Park?
a neckbeard.
Sweet God.
I laughed at that shit. I thought it
You know,
was funny because
I'm a
like I don't really
neckbeard
give a fuck.
too. Me too.
Yeah. I thought
You
it
know,
was funny.
I'm a
So
trans man.
yeah.
Just kidding.
uh
Fucking
so maybe
weirdos.
maybe he was just putting what you said to him. I don't know. I gotta read it again. Cause I think he was calling me fucking neckbeard or some shit like that.
Oh,
Which
he
I
just
don't
sent
give
me
I
a cease and desist notice to my main account. My
he-
IP is legally mine. Okay, I'm not on your IP.
I don't even know what your IP is,
I
dude.
don't give a.
yeah.
You're irrelevant, dude. I don't care. You and your
Did he
IP can
just
go
did
play
he
in
just send
traffic,
did he just send
like
you
in
that?
mommy's basement. He just sent that to my main one and only Blondie account.
Just now.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is
Oh
come on,
no,
man.
earlier today. Sorry, it
Oh,
was at
okay. All right.
7:15,
I was
7:30.
like, come on
Yeah,
now,
but what are you supposed to cease and desist about? Responding to messages he says to you? You
On
can't
my
respond back.
ban Blondie, my third alternate account. I mean, okay, you want to ban it? I'll just make another one,
Right.
and I'll just troll you harder. You know what? Should we call him? You know what? I think we should do a new segment on the show where Blondie calls the weirdos and her messages because this is my new thing, right? Is when they call me saying, or when they message me saying, "You're so disgusting," or "You deserve to die. Do yourself and your family a favor and go kill yourself," or "You're trans," or "You don't
Right.
deserve to be a nurse," or all these things. Now I just call them like the little pieces of shit that they are, and nobody ever answers. Like the one little bitch that was responding on the little pod on our podcast post today that called me
Mhm.
a pretend woman or whatever her little thing was, and then was trying to run her mouth. And I was like, well, why don't you come to the podcast and I'll tell you exactly what I fucking think about you. And then she was like, oh, I don't listen to trash. Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, you
I
are
saw that.
scared. I'd be scared too. Because when
Yeah,
it's
I did. I
women that
Well,
are
saw
like
that.
that and it's these liberal, right? They're supposed to be these trans, love all these trans, all the ones that aren't the sexual deviants that want to be trans, all the liberals, they use it as a derogatory term. Like
yes. What the hell is
Yeah.
that
it's
about?
disgusting. There's a guy on
Why do they?
TikTok that I watch. He's a gay guy and he is like super flaming gay, but he is the most conservative guy. And
Right.
you wouldn't believe the hatred I mean,
Oh,
they
that's
hate
weird.
conservative men, they hate conservative women even more than you guys. Like I mean, it is tenfold, but if you're
Yeah.
a gay or trans conservative, I mean, I I would
Yeah.
carry if I were you. I'm about to go get my concealed weapons permit, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Yeah,
gun
they
I'm gonna
they
go buy. Like I'm not, fuck around and find
Mm-hmm.
out, you know what I'm saying? That's all I can say.
yeah,
But
they're not
I
as
don't have time. If
tolerant.
some 6'5" man wants to go up in my bathroom at uh somewhere and take a shit or come in there with some little girls or whatever, like that's disgusting. Stay in your house. Like, what is this infatuation with wanting to be in a woman's bathroom or a locker
Yeah.
room other than
It's
to see a woman naked or touch yourself or some weird shit? You know what I mean? It's just weird.
yeah, it's definitely some weirdo shit. Just moving into women's spaces and stuff like that, and playing their sports because they can't play against other men and whatnot, and because they suck against other men. That it's just some weird fetish shit that's just that weird.
But
I don't.
what's so bizarre is how the feminists support that. Like, if they're all against the patriarchy and the man controlling everything, why would you want a man to be the champion of a woman's thing? Like, the whole Bruce Jenner thing,
No idea.
or Caitlyn, whatever, that dude, I mean, he still has it. He got lost along the way, but at least he still understands like reality, I guess. But like
Yeah.
when he won the Glamour magazine, the Woman of the Year, like you're telling me you couldn't find one amazing woman in this entire world that deserved that?
Yeah, it's
Or
sad.
beauty pageants. You're telling me you couldn't find one actual beautiful woman that deserved that? Some fucking dude with balls did? Like, let him go be in some male pageant. Go be in a trans pageant. Go be in a pageant in the middle of traffic. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you're not a woman. You shouldn't be in a woman's pageant
No. And yeah,
because
they
that's biology.
You know what? I'll be honest. You know what happened today, right? With the women going wherever the hell they went, 6 of them in the rocket ship.
oh yeah. Up in the
Hon-
in the phallus that
honestly,
they sent them up in. To the rocket that
honestly,
looked like a phallus.
I have the meme already ready to go, but
Oh God.
I'm waiting for somebody online to be like, how come there were no trans women on there?
Oh, yeah, you know that's coming, right? Yeah, that's definitely coming. And within the next day or two, like I can't believe that they sent
Somebody's
these
gonna say
women
it.
up into space
Oh my
and
God.
fucking there wasn't a trans woman on there.
Did you
How
guys see
come?
the
You
thing
know it's
today?
gonna happen.
Now there's this thing there. So, Catherine Levitt,
Yeah.
the speaker for the White House. There, I saw this something on Twitter today where somebody had the white, where it says White House behind her. They had white circled, and they were like, "Oh, even that's racist." So now they're trying to say that we're racist because the White House is white. I mean, and
This
Jesus
is
it
called
was
the
Christ.
White
actually on
House.
Threads, and it had like 20,000 likes, and I was like, "Are you people fucking kidding me?" So now we're
I hate
racist
to,
because it's a white. Why isn't it black?
dude.
I
I
don't
hate to
know.
tell you that, but JJ Walker and Chris Rock have been making that joke since the fucking 80s. Okay,
I
that
know
is
they have.
nothing. They
Yeah.
think they've made like this. Oh my God, we're so with it and everything. No, dude, they've been
It's
making since
so
I was
true.
a kid. They've been
Yeah,
making
that
that
joke
joke.
has
We
been
need to
around
call
for
it
a
the
very
Black
long time.
House.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on,
That
Jesus
joke has been around
Christ.
forever. Yeah.
Read
It's
your
so true.
history, man. Jesus, you think you came up with everything?
Yeah, they could care less about history, man. They could give a rat's
Yeah,
ass
So
seriously.
stupid.
about fucking history.
So
Or
Um,
even
stupid.
now, where they passed the
Ah.
SAVE Act for the IDs, and it's like, and I had wrote a comment, and I was like, if you are a woman and you aren't smart enough to figure out how to change your last name legally, you don't deserve to vote.
yeah.
Go back in the basement, or just go and play in traffic. That's my new thing. Just go play in traffic, everybody. But anyways, yeah,
Eh,
it's so fucking stupid. If you can't take it, if you can't figure out how to do that, it just makes no sense. So now they're trying
yeah.
to, scare all these women saying, "Oh, you're never going to be able to vote," or nobody, your daughters
Conser-
in the
did
future aren't going to be able to vote. And it's like, no.
did you see
Yeah.
Conserve Ant? I love Conserve Ant. He gets a lot of shit, too. The left fucking they hate him considerably. He
Mhm.
posted today he had a meme type post today that was absolutely funny. Most of his posts are absolutely hysterical anyway. And he was just like, I forgot what the comment was about Real ID, right? So he goes over to his TV. He's pointing at the clock. He's pointing at everything. I think he pointed at fucking Alexa too. And he's like, they have all your information already anyway. And then he had to explain, okay, that this has actually been around. This isn't a Trump thing because they're trying to put this all on Trump. This shit started in 2005.
Right.
This goes back to Bush, you know. Uh,
Yeah, they've been kicking the can down the road forever.
yeah, I didn't know that conserve. Uh, damn, that
What do you
sucks.
say?
He said that Conservant got canceled on TikTok and he had over 1 million followers and they crushed his monetization. That fucking sucks, man.
Wait, they took his account away, or they just crushed the monetization part of it?
He said he got canceled on TikTok as well as did it have both? He said
Oh,
both.
he said
Conserve
both.
said yeah.
That
He said
sucks.
that sucks, man.
Sucks. Wow.
People
TikTok
are
though, I mean, that's just it's the Chinese. Like they don't, they don't really care. They'll just chop everybody.
yeah. Yeah, the I mean we complain about Instagram and all these other platforms that do it, but TikTok is God forbid you have, if you even have a hint of any kind of conservative talk, you're gonna get toasted on TikTok. So anyway, let's fucking police state. Here we go. I don't know if you guys saw this. I saw this today earlier, but I didn't get a chance to post it. So I figured we talk about it. Now, Loudoun County in Virginia is just a bastion of Marxism. Um, if you've been paying attention over the years with Loudoun County, the school board fights was starting. Some of the big school board fights happened there that we saw over the years, and then it kind of spread across the country. But there was some big fights going on in California as well. But we kind of concentrated a lot on Loudoun County. So it says Loudoun County Child Protective Services took a 1-month-old breastfeeding baby from her mother and Navy veteran father at gunpoint. A U.S. Navy veteran and his wife were subjected to the full weight of the government's iron fists as CPS, backed by armed deputies, stormed their home and seized their 1-month-old breastfeeding infant. According to the father, there was no warrant, no due process, no criminal charge. This happened not in the communist China nor in North Korea, it happened in suburban Virginia in 2025. Farzin Yazdani, a Navy veteran, father, and respected engineer, has become the latest victim. See, I want to know why, what their
Yeah, there may not
logic
have been due
was.
process, but what was the
Yeah,
reason?
yeah. Victim of a weaponized
Must
family
have been
court
something.
system, a system increasingly aligned with radical bureaucrats and progressive ideologues who seem hell bent on dismantling the American family under the guise of state welfare. So see, they didn't get into it. I'm begging everybody. Yeah, that's his comment. All right, let's see. Loudoun County Child Protective Services, flanked by armed deputies from the sheriff's department, stormed the Yazdani home in what the father describes as coordinated ambush. Um, it says that based on a
Mm.
false affidavit from a bitter ex-wife embroiled in a custody battle. The infant, completely healthy, cared for, and bonded to her mother, was removed with zero regard of constitutional rights, familial bonds, or even basic human decency. There's always more. I would like to know more. Like the article didn't really get into it, but
What did that
Depends
say
on
about
what
the
they
ex-wife? What did that say?
it just said
just said a
essentially
bitter ex-wife,
a bitter
right?
ex-wife. I guess maybe a bitter ex-wife with him, and they probably going through a custody battle as well.
So that's
But
so
that's not the
ridiculous.
mom of the child. But obviously, that's not the mom of that baby.
Yeah, no, it's not the mother of the child. It's whoever he's with now. I
The
guess I
ex-wife
don't.
probably was making false reports or saying they abused the kid or whatever, so they probably went
Yeah,
in there. What state is this in?
Virginia, in
Oh,
Loudoun County,
Virginia. Yeah,
Virginia.
that's not
Yeah,
So they can,
Virginia's fucking
so they
yeah.
can just come and take your baby just because somebody said so.
Oh yeah,
Said you did something.
CPS man.
they can,
CPS
yeah.
is fucking brutal, man. You
They're like the
know,
number
they're
one, child traffickers. I
I
mean,
was
that
just, hey
literally
man, Blondie, you beat me to it. I was just about to say
sorry.
that they are. Yeah, no, that's
Mm.
fine. I don't care about that. I'm just saying that you hit it nail right on the head. They're probably the biggest traffickers in the United States. CPS in every state. Okay, it is just a big connection that needs to absolutely get fucking upended and destroyed, because they don't really give a shit. But there are probably a handful of people in CPS that genuinely give a shit about kids, probably, but I think the vast majority don't care. They just go there for being overpaid for bullshit, and they, what do you call it? They do this type of shit all the time. So Travis Spain says that he lived in Loudoun County for a year. How was that experience, Travis? Because we've seen Loudoun County over the years in the news cycle like quite a bit, actually. For like I said, everything from school boards to now we're seeing them, CPS is with the sheriffs, county sheriffs taking kids away, breastfeeding
Crazy.
kids.
That's so sad. I mean, that's just insane.
I
Yeah,
mean,
And this
it's
just
just
happened today, that they took the baby today.
yeah. This was
either today or
posted.
yesterday, I think.
Yeah, it was either probably yesterday because this was actually posted this
Yeah,
morning.
I think I saw
I hope
that
they got
video
some good
yesterday. I just didn't
attorneys
know
or
the.
something.
Yeah, this was actually posted this morning. So it probably happened. It probably happened yesterday on the weekend, right? Where there's no judges, where you can't fight right away, and all that other stuff. It's just fucking sucks, man.
Is C is CPS under like a federal agency, or are they all just state
No,
run?
it's CPS, Child Protective Service. Each state has their own.
Like
Um,
Department of
and
Health and Human
yeah,
Services, typically, or Department of Family Services, whatever,
yeah,
however the state
yeah.
labels it.
However, the state labels it correctly. Correct.
Right. But it's
Yeah.
nothing to do like there's nothing at the federal level they can really do about it.
The federal, believe it or
Oh,
not, the federal does have a branch of it. I forgot what it's called, but that's they mainly deal with like the and HHS deals with it, uh, essentially with immigrants and stuff like that, right? Like they have social workers and shit like that that do the same
sure.
the same function as CPS on the federal level, but not to like
Yeah.
go in and have a federal case against a parent. I've never seen that. If anybody has seen that and that has actually happened, please throw it in the chat. I'll put it up. Jonathan, you know what, Jonathan? Because Jonathan is who he is. Can you find out if the federal government has ever done anything like that? Taken a well, they did
I'm
actually.
curious, what the whole marijuana thing, when all that was first coming about. There was kids. I know my oldest brother. So I'm originally from Baltimore, but he had to go to a different state to get the CBD oil for my niece, who she died a couple years ago from seizures, but
Oh
he
God,
was getting yeah he was
sorry to hear
giving
that.
her that for the seizures. It was helping, but had they ever did a blood test or anything in the hospital, he would have had
Mhm.
his daughter removed from his custody because of there being marijuana, THC, or whatever in her system. So that was a lot
Oh,
of the problems with a lot of these parents.
man, that's horrible. And Rogue Nina says, I forgot about Waco, but they also did it with that Cuban kid. The federal government went and took,
Elian
remember that
Gonzalez.
yeah, Helene Gonzalez, they took him and sent him back to Cuba and whatnot. So yeah, the federal government has in Waco. I know they were going to take kids away in Waco and stuff like that. Listen, that whole Waco thing was a fiasco, and
That was crazy.
That Davidian compound freaking was legit fucking sus. But the ATF went in there and just
Yeah.
fucking they fucked that whole thing up and killed people. People got killed because of
Mhm.
their errors. Um, yeah, I agree
The
with you,
government has
Conserve.
a bad history.
Yeah, yeah. But CPS is just abysmal. And anybody who lives in a freaking Marxist state like New York, California, Illinois and whatnot, the CPS is absolutely abysmal. They just they
Michigan.
Michigan too. There you go. Yeah, they run roughshod. Um, they run roughshod over parents and whatnot. Actually, they run roughshod over good parents in more cases than none, because the fucking shit parents, they tend to keep their kids forever, right? And they get to
Yep.
keep they get to go
Mhm.
on fucking public assistance and run up our tax dollars and everything. They get Section 8 and all that other shit. The shitty drugged out meth heads, cracked out fucking trans parents get to keep their kids, but a good parent who's going through a fucking hard time, okay, they get their kids taken away from them. It's insane. Yeah, Rosie, Illinois as well. Yeah, I forgot to mention Illinois. Um, yeah, it's fucking sad. Speaking of Michigan, what was up with your governor at the White House trying to fucking hide her face in a press conference?
That was hilarious.
So, I think that could be why I may have gotten banned because I tagged her name personally in like 2 posts
Oh,
yesterday because
okay,
I posted a comment and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm getting so sick of this shit. I was like, maybe I just might run for
I
office in
mean,
Michigan.
right.
she
And
was seen. Did she think she wasn't going to get remembered that she was there? I mean, come on.
well, somebody posted, then some liberal was like in the thing because they posted on Fox News and then they were like, oh, well, Fox News also did a story saying that the reason she was hiding her face was because she wasn't aware that no media was going to be in there. Nobody told
Come
her she
on.
was going to be getting pictures
Stop
taken.
it.
Like, bitch, I pay your salary.
Did
You need
they?
to take
Did
your
it?
ass to goddamn Washington, D.C. You better walk in that office, uncover your face, and you better put my taxpayer dollars to work. And I'm going to tell you why for the following reasons, okay? I did my own little investigation here in Michigan on DHS to see is maybe what Elon Musk and Trump of what they're onto, is there actual any sort of credibility to this, right? So I did an application on the DHS website for Michigan. There's actually an option on there if you're an illegal immigrant, you can get your medical bills paid, okay? So also, you when I went, I talked to a lady on the phone and then I requested an in-person appointment because I was like, okay, I have to, are there people here? Like, what is going on? Okay.
Right.
I have this appointment. I go in there and I make it for first thing in the morning because I was like, okay, I just, I don't want to, I'm just curious, like, what's going on with everything. And there was a guy that was there before me. Oh no, so my appointment I think was like for 9 or 10. Oh, this guy was in there before me and he was like this old guy and he was like, I applied for food stamps. Like, I'm so hungry. Like, I need some food. Like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, oh, well, you're going to have to go to the soup kitchen. And he was like, are you telling me there's nobody here today that I could talk to? Like, because in Michigan, if you do something that's called state emergency relief,
Mm.
you're supposed to get a decision within 7 days. So for food stamps or rental assistance, electricity, any of like that kind of stuff. And they were like, no, we can't, we don't know what to tell you. And he was like, so there's nobody here I can talk to? And they were like, no. And I was thinking to myself, interesting. I hope so, because I have an in-person appointment. So I go upstairs. I'm escorted by a security guard after I go through a metal detector and stuff, which for where I live in Michigan, it makes sense. But I was walked up personally by a guard on the elevator and everything up to the 3rd floor. You're not allowed to have your cell phone out at all. So I go in there. Tell me why there's like over 100 empty desks and only one person working.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
And meanwhile, before I made that in-person appointment, how they do it is they make phone appointments. So they schedule the appointment and they'll say, we'll call you between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. on this day. Well, the day they were supposed to call me, they never did. So that's why I was like, okay, we're going to go see what the fuck's going on in Michigan and DHS. Well, nobody ever called me because nobody was working. So are they working at home? Is anybody actually employed there? Maybe we should ask Alyssa Slotkin or Gretchen Whitmer.
Yeah, and they'll probably fucking lie about it anyway. So if you're just joining us tonight, we have the one and only Blondie hanging with us. One of her one of her favorites on Instagram was in the chat earlier today.
One of my
We gave
fans.
one of her
Oh
fans.
man,
Okay.
was Scoob around? Scoob would have loved
No,
him.
yeah,
I know.
Scoob wasn't around. Yeah, no, Scoob wasn't around.
Yes.
You know, gave him every opportunity. He dropped. You put some random stuff in there, and we gave him every opportunity to. We gave him a little burn, but he burned himself in the end. And I guess he's gonna probably post our faces all over his page. I don't really give a rat's ass. I could care less. So if you're just joining us, one and only Blondie is with us. We're in a little bit of current events right now. Don't forget to sign up for the what do you call it, the Discord that Jonathan's hot moderator keeps dropping in both chats. We're gonna have a movie night on Saturday and watch Heat. We'll be talking more about that on Friday. I'll drop more information so you guys all know where you have to be on Saturday. I'll talk about it again a little bit on Wednesday as well, on Wednesday's show. And don't forget to like and subscribe, fam. And the likes help with the algorithm for both YouTube and Rumble. So please make sure if you're watching, you hit that like button. And if you'd like to donate to the channel and help the channel grow, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link at the top of each chat pin there. So anyway, back to reality here. So Jonathan says he's already got the movie moved over and ready to go, and we'll let you all know. Come Friday, we'll let you know what the dealio is for Saturday night and what time, because Jonathan is, he moderates the Discord channel too, so we got to make sure we give him time to get home from work and whatnot. He's a busy man. So it should be a good night, should be a fun night, and whoever signed up, that's who we're gonna hang with, and whoever jumps into the chat, that's who we're gonna roll with. So on to more judicial activism. I mean, every time something
Can
happens,
I
it's
can I
like a
just
day.
say
Go
one
ahead,
thing, Eric?
go ahead, Scott.
Just one thing. We didn't close the loop on Gretchen Whitmer.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
You have to be a complete moron to. I mean, Trump is the most like followed person in the world when it comes to the media. He doesn't. That's his whole thing. He isn't not doing anything behind closed doors. He's not
Yeah,
viral
no,
at all. So to
yeah,
think that you're going to go to the White House and have like a private meeting with him, I mean, what the?
I
That's
know.
just the most bananas thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's
That was all
it's
I had to say.
insane.
He's
Hi,
such a waste of
Chelsea.
space here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, Chelsea. It's good to see you,
so
hon.
stupid. That's just
It's
crazy.
dumb. It's just you're right. Like you're going to. He's like the most covered, all bad shit. They're always trying
Yes,
to fucking. He's the most covered
they love
president in the
him
history of
in
covering presidents.
history.
And you would think you're gonna go in there, for a private meeting. Like it's not. It's
I
listen.
hope nobody
I don't
sees
know,
me.
man.
No, what she
Yeah,
was
hope
trying to
nobody
do
sees.
was she was trying to cover her face so her little
Yeah,
feminazi followers in Michigan wouldn't know she was
Yeah.
associating with President Trump.
yeah, right.
But,
But
hopefully
think
they've
about how.
seen through her shit.
But think about how stupid
Mhm.
that is, right? Like governors across the country, no matter who the president is, are always
Right.
visiting the White House
It's
for
literally your
whatever.
job.
Constantly.
It's literally their job.
Yeah.
It's part of their job to meet with the president on things for your state. So it's not like it's not like
Yeah.
she could have easily fucking come up with a reason why she was there. And again, the Marxist state media playing cover for her said, well, she was supposed to be there for a private meeting. No, she wasn't. You guys are full of shit.
I think
And even if you're
between
Um,
her
not
and
on the same
AOC,
team, what's
yeah.
up?
I'm thinking like for the candidates, for the Democrats, for the president, I'm
Mhm.
thinking it's going to be between Whitmer and AOC. Like, I feel like they really want to keep this going with the women thing. Because the feminists is what champions their entire, at least what's left of it. The feminazis is what fuels this entire thing, or the weirdo liberal guys. But there's more feminazis, I feel like, than these male, the white liberal guys or whatever.
So you
If that's
think
the
that
case, they're going to
AOC?
lose again.
Yeah, they're
Exactly,
gonna
but
lose
I feel
regardless.
like, AOC and Whitmer, Harris, she was a woman, but she wasn't the right woman. I mean, none of them are, I'm a woman, and I don't want any of those people representing me, my biological sex, which, I can define. But, yeah, I don't like Hillary Clinton. That was not a woman that I would ever want to represent me in any way. It's like Michelle Obama or, any of these people. No, I'm
So,
good.
so you guys
Give
think
me
that
like Ivanka Trump or Candace Owens or somebody.
you guys think that AOC is gonna fucking bail on Bernie and stop being a Bernie babe like she is right now, going to Coachella and all kinds of other shit with him? She's gonna bail on him, and you know, fucking
How
slide up
old is
next to
he?
some. Bro, he's ancient. Let's just put it that way. Old as fucking dirt. That's all we need to know.
He's
He may
Um,
200.
be like
He's already getting
he,
Social
he
Security.
honestly
He's
may be like
200.
Biden in the next. Oh, it's just gonna be 2 years. In 2 years, he could be just like Biden.
have
Or
you seen the meme?
Pelosi or Feinstein. Like these guys are ancient.
Have you seen that meme of him with like him talking about the oligarchy going way back to like the beginning of
Yep.
time when he first started,
Yeah.
and just like
Since
the
the '90s.
same
Yep.
fucking it's the same message about the oligarchy, but he's worth like $60 million, got 4 homes, flies on
And
private
then still
jets to
ask for
Coachella.
donations.
Yeah,
Gets
and
on
ask for
YouTube or
donations.
TikTok. I need
Yeah,
Yeah.
donations.
Once
hanging out.
again, asking for your
eh,
help.
Hanging out at Coachella where the fucking the lowest price is like a $600 ticket. It's insane. They're all fucking idiots. They're just
Hey,
maniacs, all of them. So,
times are
but
tough.
yeah, times are tough. So whatever. We're charging $600 for Coachella. I mean, that's all his. It's funny because they made a big deal out of him being at what do you call it, Coachella. But I was like, but that's their fucking what do you call it? Their people anyway. It's not our people. You
No.
know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of it's my dad asked my because my dad didn't know what Coachella was this weekend. He's like, well, what is Coachella? I was like, it's just a place where Marxists get together to fucking get high and fucking practice all kinds of debauchery and freaking and hedonism and
Yeah.
listen to shit music. Then my dad was like, oh, so it's Bernie Sanders people. I was like, yeah, it's Bernie Sanders people. I think that's who it
Yeah.
is. But
It's like
more
Woodstock for
judicial
liberals.
activism, like every time, it's like it seems to be every fucking day, um, with something with these fucking judges. It says Obama judge blocks Trump's mass cancellation of Biden era parole program that ushered in hundreds of thousands of migrants. A federal judge on Monday blocked President Trump's mass cancellation of the Biden era parole program that ushered in hundreds of thousands of migrants. U.S. District Judge Indira Talwani, an Obama appointee in Boston, said Trump's decision to cancel the parole program was premised on a legal error. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week, Judge Talwani blocked the Trump administration from revoking the legal status of hundreds of thousands of migrants flown in on Joe Biden's parole program. Judge Talwani said the DHS did not interpret the law properly and asserted the migrants have a right to be in the U.S.
I don't even pay attention to those announcements anymore
Yeah, it's just
because
fucking.
not because there's so many of them, but just because even if they actually have any standing, I mean, Trump is pretty much not paying attention to them.
He's not. He really isn't.
He's not.
Ugh.
I mean,
Uh,
just like the whole thing with the guy from El Salvador today. They were saying like, well, the judge is demanding that guy be
yeah,
returned, and even the president of El Salvador is like, make me.
yeah, Bukele. But you know
Yeah.
what? But actually, Pam Bondi said something interesting in that fucking press conference. She said that it wasn't that they had to do it. It was suggested that if the president of El Salvador agrees, if the El Salvadorian government agrees to send him back, that what do you call it? They're supposed to provide fucking air essentially an airplane and a ticket or whatever to get him back. That the U.S. government is supposed to do that. Didn't really say anything about
But
that
did
they
you hear
have
what
to do
Trump
it.
said? But
What
did
did
you hear what
Trump
Trump
say?
said? Or not Trump? It was the speaker guy. Not the speaker. The communications guy. I can't think of his name.
Stephen Miller?
Um, Miller. Yeah, he said they had the right to. They had to even if he got returned, the U.S. had the right to deport him a second time.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It was like, all right, so we'll
So it's
return him
like,
and just
fine, I'll bring him back and we'll
yeah,
deport him again.
yeah. Don't it's like don't think you're getting off the plane. You're gonna land in fucking Miami and then we're just gonna
Yeah,
turn and flip it around.
they don't care. See,
Or
this is what I
California
love.
actually. Yeah, they don't give a shit.
See, this is what I love. He's got for the most part, he's got a cabinet that is basically working lockstep with him.
Yeah.
and that they're not afraid of the media. They're not afraid of judges. They're not afraid of like the Democrats.
Yeah.
And they're literally they don't like in the first term Trump had to do like all the talking. He
Yep.
had to like be that. He doesn't have to now.
Nope.
Every single position, whether it's Pete Hegseth or Blondie or Cash, they're all just getting up saying, no, I got this one.
Yep. No, they're all on
I love
speed.
it.
They all
I love
understand the
it.
mission, and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and
And
it's
that's good because
glorious.
I don't want him to have to fight the whole thing himself.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
You know,
That's like you said, in his first term, he had to do that. It was all freaking by himself, essentially
yeah,
doing
it was all
everything.
him.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I know. Yesterday, it was reported that I don't know if you saw it, that Arizona is gonna. You might have actually posted about it, but you know me on the weekends. I don't pay attention
Is
to
it a?
social media as much. Said that Arizona
I
is.
think I know what you're going to say. Is it about the 50,000 ballots?
Yes. Yes.
I'm on top of
Yeah.
it, man. Come on.
Yeah. That's what I said. I know
I already got.
you probably
I
posted about
already.
it.
Well, no, I didn't post it yet, but I've already added it to my list for week 13.
Oh, okay. So here we go, guys. I'll
It's
just we'll go
already
over it
on
a
there.
little bit. Arizona to remove up to 50,000 non-citizens from voter rolls after successful conservative lawsuit. All 15 counties in Arizona have now started reviewing and cleaning their voter rolls to remove non-citizens, including nearly 50,000 voters who registered without showing proof of U.S. citizenship. The lawsuit was filed by America First Legal on behalf of Izaz.org and Yvonne
Good
Cahill,
for
a
them.
naturalized U.S. citizen and registered voter. AFL was founded by Trump advisor Stephen Miller, who we were just talking about. It argued that election officials were not following Arizona law, which requires proof of citizenship to vote in the state and local elections. Counties must also run monthly checks to confirm the citizenship status of registered voters. As part of the settlement, Arizona counties must now work with the Department of Homeland Security to verify the citizenships of voters who didn't provide documentation when registering. That is just freaking, that's good news. We need that shit in
Dude, this
Arizona,
is
man.
happening. This is
Yeah,
happening one every other week. There's another
yeah,
state. We just had it happen to Georgia.
yep,
Washington State had got messed up with some court ruling. I can't remember
yeah,
what the other one was. I don't know if it was Arkansas, maybe.
yeah. Hey,
No, Virginia. Virginia.
yep, yep.
Each
Hey,
state, they're losing stuff. They have to clean up their voter rolls, and Trump's not even having to do this himself. It's
no,
beautiful.
it's being
The
done on its
states are
own. Hey,
taking
Travis,
care of themselves.
Travis, thanks for hanging out with us. First time here. We appreciate you being with us. Yeah, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights, 8 p.m. to 10. Myself and Reddaywalker are usually together on Mondays and Fridays. I'm usually alone on Wednesdays. And that the Wednesday show is usually only about an hour. So hope you signed up on the Discord. Come hang with us. That's just a place where we can continue our conversations and whatnot. So thanks for coming in. We appreciate your time spending with us tonight. If you're just joining us, One and Only Blondie is back on screen and can't hear you, Blondie.
Sorry, I didn't
Hey.
realize I was on mute. No, I was just saying hi to Travis. He's my friend from Instagram. Glad he came by
Oh,
and
okay.
checked us out.
You got some hell of a feedback going there on your mic. Did you hear me, Blondie?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but there's like some feedback that's just like.
Oh, really?
It's gone now.
Sounds
It's
okay
gone
to
now.
me.
I could hear it. If you guys didn't hear it, I was hearing it. It's gone now. It's gone. But yeah, so Travis is one of your peeps.
Yeah, he's one of my friends from Instagram.
That's cool. That's cool that he came and followed you. One of your fans came and one of your, one of your peoples came. So, we got a dose of both. Um, I can't wait to see the shit show that's gonna be that dude's page when he starts posting all the shit about me on there. Cause it sounded like he was threatening me about that or something with IPs and all kinds of shit. Whatever
He
it
has a
was.
bot page though. The page
Yeah.
he was messaging me from was like a bot account. I don't think he even has any posts or anything.
Well,
Oh
Jonathan
no,
said
he did.
heard
It
the
was just a bunch of
feedback.
weird pictures of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was telling me that anything on his page is IP, so like not to bring his page up. I wasn't going to anyway. I
I don't
wasn't
even
going to.
remember what his
It was,
handle was. I'm not gonna
yeah,
look for him. I don't
yeah.
care.
It's like I think he thought I was gonna bring his Instagram page up, which that's not what I was gonna do. Don't What I was trying to do was trying to help him, okay, so we can get
Mhm.
to the root of his problem with fucking MAGA and the so-called far right,
Oh,
But
yeah.
again, we couldn't get there because we just couldn't find the information. Listen, Conserve did his due diligence, and Jonathan did as well. So it is what
He
it
was just
is.
trying to troll me and just trying to take up the
Yeah,
time. That's
yeah,
all he was doing.
yeah.
And I figured that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's okay though. It really is okay. It's not like, it's like, all right, the thing is, how we do here, Blondie. If you're gonna
Yeah.
come in and you're gonna say some stuff, we got people like Conserve and Jonathan that are gonna go find the information, and then the chat's just gonna rip you to shit when that information comes up. Right? So like, that's why he kept saying it's not a big deal, I don't care or whatever and stuff like that. So it's like,
I
okay.
give him credit though. At least he had the balls
He did.
to at least make an
He came.
appearance. That's more I can say for some other friends that I, discovered recently in my messages.
Yeah,
But
no, that's he did come. He said he would come, he did. So we'll give
Yeah.
him a
He showed up.
fucking.
He
He
showed
did.
up, and instead of having a conversation, he threatened us with legal action.
Yeah, he threatened us with legal action. So,
He was
um,
like, "I'm here to talk, but you can't talk about me."
yeah, I know. It's true. So it is what it is. What are you gonna do, fam?
It's hilarious as usual.
People are gonna be who they are. Um, they don't want us when they disagree with us. They show how intolerant they really are. And
Mhm.
Chelsea said, who had a good judge this week? So Chelsea, well, we're gonna have to talk about that at some point when you're free to talk about that. I'd like to bring you on to get that out. So I know you're not free yet because you're still in litigation, but definitely would like to bring you on to talk about that. Rogue Nina says that's the most attention he's got in a while.
oh yeah, because he has 1,569 posts, but only one follower.
All right,
Probably his mommy.
That sounds like a
so
bot.
Jonathan actually, this is what Jonathan said. He said, "Oh, I found the info, and dude was full of shit. One pro-life super PAC. That's it. One donation to a pro-life super PAC makes them a far right-wing nationalist white supremacist
He
judge."
looks just like you think he would.
Wait, he who? What about the pro-life super PAC? They voted
That's
to donate it to Trump,
Yeah.
or
No, the judges
oh,
that
the
he was
judge?
naming. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um, actually, he didn't name the judges. He gave the docket numbers, and then
Actually,
uh, Conserve and
to, t-
Jonathan were all over it.
to tell you the truth, that actually makes him not MAGA
Yeah,
because Trump is not for full abortion. I mean,
yeah,
he's not for banning abortions 100%.
yeah,
That's
Right.
why
yeah,
he's populist, not far right.
yeah.
People
He's a
don't
populist.
know that because they just listen to CNN.
Bro, it's just like,
Oh,
it it's again, they listen to their fucking they're in their bird cages listening to their partner bird next to them chirping in their ear, and that's it. That's all they're getting, right? So it is what it is. And but hey, fam,
lights
as you
on, but
see how
nobody's
we
home.
get down on this channel, we didn't bully him, Blondie was well within her
I
right
did a little bit, but
to rip him. Yeah, but you were well within your right, so I wasn't gonna stop you. I was gonna let you handle your business like you should, because he was giving you shit on Instagram. So hey, he came on. Well, he didn't come on the show, but he came into the chat, and we gave him every opportunity to give us the proper information to bring up. I also told them we don't dox people on here, so I'm not gonna, I don't need your name. If you give us your name, you do it yourself. But we try to be fair with people on this until they give us a reason not to be. But again, there's a dude that's constantly giving Blondie shit, and Blondie gave it back to him as warranted. It is what it is. So, um, you know, that's how we get down, fam. We try
all
not
about
to
giving and
be.
receiving, Gotta get some hate, gotta give a little.
Absolutely,
All's fair in
100%
love and
Blondie.
war.
Yes, it is. Um, but again, Conserve and Jonathan were giving him Conserve in particular was giving him every opportunity. Uh, you know. So to answer your question, Scott, if you're listening there in the background, Jonathan says Red Day One Pro Life Super PAC donated to him in 2018. Donated to the judge. That's all I found. The rest of the donations were from the RNC and grassroots, and that he only raised about $136,000. So in 2018. Uh Rogue Nina says that he's probably crushing on you, Blondie.
I'm sure.
uh I mean, You're a beautiful
Like I
young
said,
woman.
these
So
people, that's the only interaction they actually get with the, maybe trans men is the closest thing they get to a woman, but insulting women is literally the only way they can have any kind of interaction other than with their mom, or like OnlyFans. They don't have any actual like real life touching or interaction because, well, we saw what he looked like. Yeah.
I didn't even go check. So I'm just like, again, I tried to as the
Just
host.
imagine, and it looks exactly what you would think. Just probably
Yeah,
worse.
like I
That's
said,
the thing.
as the
I'm not even picturing him. That's how little I
yeah
think of him.
I just as the host, like I said, I was being fair. I try to be fair. Um, but Jonathan said that you're probably the only female contact he has had with a woman in years.
Mhm.
So,
He's
um,
probably masturbating
listen.
to you right now.
I'm here to bring excitement to everybody's lives.
So we appreciate Blondie bringing the troll in because it was fun. Uh,
It was.
it was good, and you guys handled it the way I know you would handle it, and we're just waiting for him to set himself up, and he bailed out
Mhm.
before he can actually do that. So
Should we call
I'll
him? Should I call him on
nah,
Instagram
don't
Messenger? Can
yeah,
I?
don't that's up
I
to
mean, if
you,
you
but
wanna keep
that's
the flame going, you can. But I
yeah,
mean, I
I'm
yeah,
wouldn't
just
that's
even
kidding. I
encourage
won't.
him.
I'll be nice. It's okay.
yeah, I wouldn't even waste my time. I mean, look, again, he's probably gonna post some shit about the show on his channel and on his
Oh,
page.
his one follower can look at it and
Yeah.
go touch himself too. I don't care.
Yeah, they could fucking sit in a parking lot in the back of a truck giving each other ball koozies. I don't care. Um, you know, it is what it is. Um, whatever. But we love Blondie here on this show, and she's always in the chat, always dropping knowledge. She came on today dropping knowledge, and Jonathan is with you 100%. Blondie says, "Nah, Blondie, he will spurg and harass you tomorrow." It's true. He will. He probably will.
He won't be able to quit you.
Yeah, he's gonna be. I can't quit you.
Oh God. Stage 5 clinger alert.
Uh,
Mhm.
he's gonna Blondie. I can't quit you. Oh God, now Blondie's brain is rolled. I can see the wheels. She's like, please no. God no.
Mhm.
Is he still in the chat? Is like
Nah, he left.
this?
No, he
Is this
left
guy
like
mad? Okay, I'm like, did he smash his phone or computer by now? This
nah,
is
he left a long.
hilarious.
He left a long time ago.
Well,
You know.
he may have at home, but
Yeah, he could be watching now. I could care less. But like he what do you call it? He left the chat a long time ago. If he's watching now, he hasn't commented. And again, we did what we were supposed to, and that's it. And you did what you were supposed to, and that's it. You handled your business, and he came and he fucking got dealt with by you, and that's what it was. And we gave him every opportunity to talk about his issues, including Conserve was like, hey, I'll even set you up to come on the show. Uh, And it's like whatever. Not looking to have somebody who just doesn't understand MAGA because that's what it really is. Doesn't understand MAGA. The only
yeah,
thing that he said that was fucking correct, but not completely correct, is like he's like I see these people with anti-Semitic conservatives with anti-Semitic remarks. That has happened, okay, and I agreed. I said I disagree with that too. But if that's what you're calling MAGA, all of MAGA, then you just
yeah.
don't understand MAGA at all. At all.
That's the alt right. And that's always been the alt right. That's
You know
never
what though?
been
That
MAGA.
in all fairness, there's way more. Well, I see way more liberal pages saying it with anti-Jewish stuff.
Anti-Semitic shit. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
God.
100%.
I mean, they're marching
100%.
in the streets. They're
Yeah.
marching in the. They're the ones marching in the streets,
They're
screaming about
protesting on
anti.
campuses and shit like that and everything,
Yeah, I mean, you don't see
preventing
MAGA
Jewish
doing
kids from
that
going.
at
You don't
all.
see MAGA doing that shit at all. Like I said, are there some big con influencers doing that? Yeah, there is. Okay, can't
Some,
deny that. But like you
but
just
they're not
said,
marching in the streets and setting
yeah,
things on fire.
yeah. But like you just said, Red Day, it's not our side. But again, there's just this not understanding, and then made a remark about being from the Tea Party. So if you're from the Tea Party, you should understand MAGA 100%.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're truly from the Tea Party, you would understand, okay, what MAGA is. The Tea Party was a populist movement,
Mhm.
probably a movie too. And it morphed into MAGA, which is something that has been that spirit of MAGA has been around forever. Plenty of people have felt that
Mhm.
way for a very long time. It just is, it evolved into something, big. And Trump alone is not MAGA. MAGA is beyond him at this point, way past him. It's always been there. He jumped on it, okay, and used it to his benefit, understood it, learned it, understood it, and agreed with it, okay. But it has surpassed him, and we talk about it on the show all the time, right? When it comes to the next elections, it's not just about Trump. Okay, we have to be looking to to continue this going with like good solid people and whatnot. um so again, there was just no real true examples other than the judge that took my kids away from me was this ultra right wing nationalist with no proof whatsoever of that. So that to me was why we were giving him an opportunity to dig his own grave, really. um and I think we were being respectful to him. I wasn't worried about Blondie. Was gonna
You know,
rip
you're
into him
funny.
because he was giving her shit on Instagram, so she had every right to fucking rip into him. I didn't care about that. you know I don't know if he might have got offended when I said he, her. I don't know what his pronouns are, and I think he said my pronouns are he, him, or some shit like that. That right there was like, okay, that says it all. It's like that tells you all right there. If you have fucking pronouns, I don't know, in your bio or whatever like that, I don't almost don't even want to deal with you. So we're gonna
You,
call it a
you
little
know
early
what?
to what's
And
up, Gad?
I was just saying, not responding to them is, I guess that's probably one of the biggest things you can do to hurt them, just because they don't
Yeah,
want to feel invisible.
Well, I guess I'll have to break his little heart and just
yeah,
make him feel so
you gotta,
invisible. Sorry,
yeah,
no more friend. You'll have to go find someone else to bother.
Hmm.
yeah. You're gonna have to break his heart, Blondie.
Somebody's got to do
Blonde,
it, I guess.
Blondie out there breaking hearts on Instagram. uh,
I don't know. I think it's only the crazy liberal, the blue-haired feminazis that are having the broken hearts. I don't know. Maybe are they just mad I'm not a lesbian? Maybe I don't
that's
know.
what
It's
it
so
is.
weird. It's like they're just
Probably.
Yeah,
absolutely fucking
Blondie.
crazy.
It's all
The
about
women call me trans more than the men do. I'm
They've,
like, sweetie, I've literally given birth. Like, I promise I'm a woman.
yeah,
So
yeah. They
there's
they've
that.
probably
got a thing for you.
Yeah,
Probably.
there's probably some carpet munching on their mind with you there, Blondie.
Well, I don't want to know, so whatever. But these people get me banned though, and it's just so crazy. Like
Yeah.
how I woke up with a ban, I've literally done nothing but post South Park gifs for my comments. Like 99% of it is just that's all that it is. I
Well,
haven't cussed anybody. I mean, today I did on my alternate account because
right,
you're gonna ban me, then my trolling goes times 10. I just
right.
give zero fucks. So
Well,
and now they figured out that I have these multiple accounts because my like I was telling you earlier today, I posted my one thing. I can no longer tag my other accounts as a collaborator. I
Mhm.
I even tried to save my story for my main One and Only Blondie account. It wouldn't even save it to my Apple phone. After 20 saves, it still wouldn't save it. So it's like, is Apple and Instagram working together to make sure I can't share this? Because since I was commenting from my
Yes.
alternate account today, I wanted to put that on my story for that account. So if
right.
anybody was looking at my trolling comments or anything, if they looked at my story, they would see that, to come look at comment to the
Mhm.
podcast or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's just so bizarre. These people just, and then they message me. I barely even look through any of these messages. Like what I post on Instagram is like literally the tip of it's like, the 0.001%. And usually after I get through a couple of them, it's just whatever. I
Yeah,
just report it. They never get I think only twice ever in my Instagram life, I think 2 actual comments were reported or removed, like after I reported it. Um, and on your account status, it's supposed to tell you the comments that you posted, like for why you're being
yeah,
banned and what it is. It still shows mine as 100% capability. So for commenting, although I never can comment. And all it shows is 2 comments that were reported against me back in December. So on all my bans I've gotten since December, it still has never updated any of the comments of what's actually been reported. So what that tells me is I'm not being I'm not being banned because of my comments. I'm being banned
right.
because somebody's watching me or
Yeah,
something. Something's going on where they just know to ban me. And it's always on a fucking Monday morning. Like when my Facebook was banned permanently.
yeah.
Literally, I woke up for work. I had at that time I worked 2 hours away. Like I had a 2 hour drive to work. I got to work, logged into my Facebook, and saw it was permanently disabled. Literally 2 weeks to the day before Trump's election. So I just they can keep banning me. I'll just keep talking more. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, they're
So,
fucking full of shit, and I know Meta's in court right now, uh,
yeah,
handling the
they're really about to be
antitrust
in
stuff
lots of
right now.
court. Can't wait.
Yeah, handling that antitrust stuff, and I don't know if it'll happen, but I know that there is potential for them to lose both Instagram and WhatsApp, um, in this case that the government has brought against them. So that would actually be nice. I don't know who would pick up Instagram, but to get rid of all the fuck checkers and all the bullshit that goes on. I still got videos. Like anytime I post a what do you call it, a reel, they get flagged immediately, and I'm told I can't monetize on them. And then when I look at like strikes against you and everything, nothing. And this says, oh, you can monetize, but all my videos are all in a timeout, and I can't do anything about it. I don't really care, but it's just like it's a pain in the ass because it's like you said, somebody's watching you, and it's just like somebody's
Yeah.
monitoring you, and even if they're not, there's just a group of people that monitor certain things, and there's certain accounts, and I know they put me in a timeout in January because like I went from 300 and something fucking followers to 20,000 plus, about 20,000 in January. From December to January, I hit that really fast, and then they just put me in a timeout at that point, and it's just been like a dribble. I've been losing followers. I don't really care about that either, but it's just I was like, okay, I got put in a timeout. They saw that I blew up too fast for them, and they don't like our accounts, right? Because the type of shit that we post on them.
I think that's another thing, is I noticed that if I'm talking about certain topics, so I don't know if you guys remember, it was like whatever months ago. I think when that black nurse that twerked on her patient's head and posted it to
Yes, I
TikTok.
remember you posting
Libs
about that.
Libs of TikTok or somebody posted that to Instagram.
Yep.
I posted a comment, it got like 5,000 likes, like super quick.
Yeah.
And then within an hour, like within a couple of hours, they had me completely blocked from that post. Not libs of TikTok, right? Because on my other
Right.
accounts, I'm still able to see it.
Right.
I was not, and then a week later, magically, it was taken off of there. And then I was able to see hundreds of comments because I was talking about how I mean, because me of all people, I was like, this is what all these, like it's insane. And now that's what I always tell people when they tell me, oh, well, I'm so glad you're not a nurse anymore or whatever. And I'm like, well, I hope you get a nurse that twerks on your head and your dying mother's head and your newborn baby's bed and post it on TikTok. That's the bedside manner that you deserve.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That was
because
unreal.
it's like this, it's an even more specific censorship. And I'm doing screen recording so I can try. I mean, it's really hard because it's so hard to prove this. Like, I
Right.
took screenshots of that whole thing, like when they had me completely blocked from that. But it's like,
Right.
how can you actually prove that? But
Yeah.
it's so bizarre. But anyways,
Yeah. They're gonna continue the bullshit.
I
It
know
is
it's
what it
never
is,
gonna
and
end.
it's never gonna end. And we got to continue to just do what we're doing, and making these shows, and continue fucking posting and grinding like we do. Uh, it doesn't stop
And
us.
suing, because I'm
And
suing
suing.
him for,
Yeah, I know you
we've
said
got
you're
our
suing.
case going.
Yeah, I hope you guys fucking
Yeah.
blast them into
Maybe I'll own
oblivion.
Instagram. Shit.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Hold my beer. Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
beautiful.
uh, but go ahead, Blondie. We're gonna get ready to what do you call it? Close it out here soon. So plug whatever you want to plug in, hon.
Well, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Glad to be on the show and glad to hang out with you guys. It's cool to go over some stuff, and yeah, it was fun. But yeah,
Yeah.
give me a follow on Instagram. I can't really interact a whole lot right now, although
All her links are in
only
the
only a few
description, fam.
times they've banned me from actually like messaging or anything. But usually it's just banned from commenting. So I guess
Yeah.
just so I can't interact with people.
Yeah, I
But
put all her all her links are in the description. Her Instagram pages and her threads. If I missed anything, I apologize. But I got those three are in the description for sure. So please give her a follow. She always posts good things in her stories when the trolls are coming after her. She airs them out there. So that's pretty fucking awesome to see them get aired out.
yeah,
um,
I have to put
so
it out there so people can see what I have to deal with.
Yeah, and even with even with her troll showed up today, but she handled his ass too, and you guys handled him too, and you guys were actually. I was very very surprised because I thought I saw what was happening before. I think he left because of if you were paying attention to the chat, it was our chat was getting ready to start fucking lacing him. It was coming because they were getting tired of the
Really.
bullshit and they were getting tired of the, hey, we're trying to put your information up, but you're not giving us like solid stuff, and you're not bringing any fucking, you can't make a comment that MAGA, shit all over MAGA is full of Christian nationalists, okay? Because he said he's agnostic. All right, which I'm full of shit. I don't believe he's agnostic at all. Anyway, and not come out with some receipts or just come up with some examples for us to debate back and forth about it, right? Like just come up with Oh, the judges who took my kids away were right wing nationalists, and Jonathan finds out that they donated to this judge, Pro Life Pack donated to him one time, and the rest was all RNC and grassroots.
But
You know what
why?
I'm
You know
saying?
what? But if you're gonna walk around and like say stuff like that, wouldn't you know that stuff right up the tip of your tongue?
Yeah.
If
Wouldn't you
you're a
know like, oh yeah,
Republican,
this
you
is
Yeah.
would.
Yeah,
this is
you would
exactly why he's fascist, or this is exactly why he's this.
exactly.
Like you
Yeah,
can't
you
even.
would
You'd
have.
have to go. He was saying he had to go look it up.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Look up what? It's your case.
Yeah.
I know, it's insane.
Like Jonathan said, Jonathan says I couldn't even get a judge's name out of him, so like it's talking in fucking tongues, man.
Hmm.
Bring specifics so that we can at least argue either for. Listen, he even brought up something that we all agreed on, right? And it was like, yeah, that's correct. We have seen that, but that's not representative of all of MAGA, right? So like you're equating everybody in MAGA to these big con influencers. That's just not correct,
Yeah.
So, but anything you got there, Red Day?
I just want to make sure, for the record, I state that everything I say on here is my intellectual property, and no one's allowed to record it, save it, share it, even respond to it, because it is my IP, and you'll hear from my attorney if you do such.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're out there,
and none of,
Noted.
CJ, this recording is
in fact,
definitely
this
my
statement right
IP.
here is copyrighted too.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything on here is copyrighted. This is my IP, and you will hear from our lawyers if you
Yeah.
go on and post this
But
stuff.
I will say this: next Monday we are having our big panel to discuss Trump's first 90 days.
Hmm.
Um,
Nice.
so if there's a good show to just tune in and listen to, or even if you don't have a chance to watch it all that night, definitely save it, and when we put it in your watch later folder,
Yeah.
it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, we
Nice.
got a definitely a pretty decent panel coming in on Monday, and it should be a very very good show. It's probably gonna get spicy occasionally, but that's okay. We're all right. That we had a little bit of spice today. Blondie was just lacing this dude, and it was awesome to see.
Hmm.
Um,
And bring
it is what it
spice.
is. But we have fun with you all. We appreciate when you guys tune in with us. For the people who tuned in, the new ones, we had what was it, Travis? What was the last name? Jonathan Spain, was it?
Travis Spain.
I
Yeah.
think it was Travis Spain. And, good to see Chelsea. Rogue Nina, it was good to see you. Conserve Reality, always, contributing, helping us out. Rosie Riveter, thank you again, Prima, for, jumping in and hanging out with us. Jonathan, did I miss anybody, man? You know what? I'm even going to give CJ some props. Real quick prop for coming in and getting your ass handed to you by Blondie.
Hmm.
And actually sticking around, not giving us really the information we needed to have a discussion with you, but you stuck around. So we'll give it to you. We give it to you for that. You came in. You said you would come in. You came. You didn't see or conquer, but you came. And I know you're probably gonna blast me and put me all over your page. I really don't give a rat's ass. Doesn't matter to me because I'm not gonna be paying attention to you anyway. Uh, nope, I got everyone, Jonathan. All right. So I will close this out, fam. Yeah, all right, America. That's another episode of Break the Machine podcast. We had the one and only Blondie coming in and dropping some knowledge with us today. It was good. She even brought a troll in for us. Who've just been giving her shit. She's been giving it right back to him, which is the way it's supposed to be. Please join the Discord so you can be part of our movie night on Saturday, the 19th, which is Easter weekend. It's free to sign up. There's no membership fees or anything like that, and it's also a place for us to continue to have discussions with one another. Jonathan has actually been posting in the political theory. He has some really good stuff in there on Marxism and whatnot. So go check it out. Very very good reads, and he continues to do that. He's been posting stuff in the news section as well. There's a meme section, there's a pet section, you name it. You can come in there and drop it. So Jonathan let us know that we are set up for Saturday's movie. We're going to be watching Heat on Saturday, so please sign up on the Discord. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe tonight, fam. It's just great to have you guys, all you new viewers that are coming in to hang with us. I will be back on Wednesday, 8 p.m., and it'll just be me on Wednesday, Friday, myself, and Red Day once again. And as of right now, we don't have anybody lined up, but you just never know, right? Last Friday, we didn't have anybody lined up. Conserve came to hang out with us, and then Blondie said she'd come in today. So you just never know how things are going to go down. But please make sure you tune in for the 21st panel. The panel we're going to have, it's going to be a really really great panel with a lot of good information to put out. We're going to rehash some stuff. You might hear some things that you haven't heard yet, in regards to what has been getting done and what we haven't seen get done. So we're going to be talking about both things in Trump's first 90 days. And then on the 25th, we have our Patriot panel. Right now, it's myself, Red Day, a Conserve Reality, and the real Tom Lee Booze from Essex, England, is coming to hang with us next Friday. And it should be pretty good. But anyway, it'll be a good night Monday, and it'll be a good night next Friday as well. With all that said, I am the Big Red One Guy signing out. And remember that together and only together can we break the machine. Have a good night, fam. God bless you all. God bless America. And I will see you on Wednesday. Good night, fam.